And we're live!
We are live. Good evening, all you dreadlords and owners of grand dice hoards. Good evening, and welcome to Chromatic Chimera, where the story is made up and the XP doesn't matter. Welcome to the Season 2 prologue of SteamSpell, Watch the Stars. I am he, known as Puddins, your storyteller and sort of just narrative guide for tonight, because we're just kind of taking a free-form RP approach to this. And joining me tonight are Chris as Crew Kazel, who was once a Dragonborn Druid, Abigail as Nettle, who was once a Halfling Paladin, Lucy as Cat, who was once an Aasimar Rogue, Ryan as Gray, who was once a Tiefling Warlock, Megan as Rosalind, who was once a Yuan T Pureblood Warlock, and Sam as Mouse, who was once a Tiefling Ranger Cleric. And I say that once because they're going to be changing when we pick a new system, inevitably. So, welcome to SteamSpell, the industrial fantasy RPG adventure. Last season, the Star Touched were brought together and faced off against the terrible Biomancers, as well as took up arms against the Void. They made dear friends, valuable allies, and devious enemies in their journey across Highguard, Balin, and Urgenfell. So I've got a quick little summary for all of the characters to go through, and then we'll jump into the action, so bear with me, please. Crew Kazel had traveled far from the southern tundras of Dragonfrost to seek out a cure for the curse that was ravaging him. Fate had it that he joined the Star Touched on that day the train crashed and Azor Bale interceded on their fates. Crew Kazel used quick wit and charm to not only wiggle his way into the hearts of the Star Touched, but also to get them out of some sticky situations. After searching for so long, Crew Kazel was able to rid himself of his curse in the ruined city of Ghostwatch. Having saved the realm from horrors beyond, in Season 2, he shall have to protect the realm again, serving as the heart of his god, Jordantarax. The young halfling Nettle Swiftfoot set out from her quiet life in Acorn to become a hero. Her affectionate attitude and valorous spunk have kept the Star Touched alive in many a hard-pitched battles. Not only has she trained to be a knight under Sir Gregor, but she also became Duke of Balin. Despite her age, Nettle has fought against the odds and earned the respect of her peers. Her cheerful demeanor helps to pierce the heavy emotions that often are part of the Star Touched experience. In Season 2, Nettle's heroism will be needed as the Star Touched now fight, not for themselves, but for all of Everin. The vengeful Katarina Steele discovered a lot about herself in Season 1. While on the run from the Biomancers, accompanied by her friend Rosalind, Kat soon found herself becoming the hunter in her search for her sister and justice for the terrible experiments conducted on her. Her journey was not without hardship, as she had suffered a brutal death by the hands of Juan Muertos before delivering the final blow to him. Kat not only was able to find her sister and fulfill her goal, but she also discovered her true origin through the horrors of the Dreamquake that occurred at Songbird Keep, her birthplace. In Season 2, Kat's destiny is to take up the flames of creation against an eldritch horror, but will she be able to pay the soul tax that her resurrection has incurred before Devil Muertos claims her soul? Pensive and reserved, Gray fell into the Star Touch when he decided to sit next to a girl and her dog in a tavern, leaving a destitute life behind to serve his adoptive mother, the Celestial Sovereign, in Alabaster. Gray soon found himself embroiled in the affairs of his newfound friends. He was charged with delivering Corvus Altera to his mum, this proving to be a difficult task when it was revealed that Corvus had the same purpose as Kat, as he too was a former experiment of Dr. Branson's. He was able to complete his quest and purify his brother's soul before falling himself, but by the grace of Lillian and his mother, he lived. Rising above adversity, Gray was able to provide much-needed arcane support to the Star Touched as they faced off against all manner of foes, from Feymoths to Biomancer abominations. In Season 2, Gray will have to race against time in the shadows as the demonic dreadlord Blackheart threatens to claim the soul of the Sovereign. The enigmatic Rosalind was brought into the Star Touched as part of the Cat package deal. With her pseudo-dragon familiar, Fang, Roz was able to keep her personal life's details away from the Star Touched, and good thing too, considering she has a vampiric dragon patron who provides her with her magical power. Winning the heart of Sir Gregor, Rosalind's romantic life has become something of interest to her friends for some reason, probably because they lack love lives themselves. It has been her level-head diplomatic approach and creative problem solving that has proven invaluable to the Star-Touched in their journey. In Season 2, Rosalind might return home to the vampiric country of Duskwind Vale to find more answers about the enemies this new season threatens to bring, while perhaps showing more of her life to her friends. Although a late comer, it took no time for Mouse to prove themselves as an effective team member, especially with their formal black coat training. A crack shot with a longbow, it wasn't long before Mouse's own story intertwined with the rest of the group's, as their brother Jade also worked for the Biomancers to bring Kat to Dr. Branson. Mouse, learning some confidence, has been fully and formally welcomed as a member of the Star-Touched after delivering the killing blow on Dr. Branson. In Season 2, Marlfax will guide Mouse toward Azor Bale's goal to save the realm from it that slumbers. But Mouse will also be contending with Jade's impending trial, and perhaps picking up an old trail. And that's where we're gonna pick up where we left off. We return after, well, to the party not a long time, but to us it's been a while. You continue to rest and recuperate within the Spire of the First King in the Duchy of Balin. With summer approaching in less than a month, the days begin to grow longer and warmer. It rains less than it did during your adventures over the past few months. The Citadel and settlements teem with life as the folk toil and play in the wonderful weather. And it's where we open with a light breeze rustling tall grass as the warm late spring morning sun beams down upon the spire, signaling the inevitable arrival of summer. We follow one of these rays of sunlight into a window within the lofty brick spire, where a study with nice wooden floors has been converted into a makeshift painting studio. Tarps are tossed in a corner where a bespectacled painter is working in he's wearing fine clothing. He's working on this easel, trying to be very intricate and careful with every brush stroke. In the center of the room, basking in the light of the sun, is a finely dressed halfling girl. Nettle Swiftfoot poses for her portrait on this very crafter's day. Abby, please describe Nettle for the audience for me.
So, Nettle does not look as she typically would. She is a young, small halfling, 13 years old, almost 14, and normally she would be covered head to toe with dirt. Her dark brown hair would be an absolute rat's nest until, Roz or Cat brushed it back into a ponytail. And normally she would be wearing her training armor and being out on the grounds and training with Sir Gregor. But today, she's getting her portrait taken. So she has perfectly freshly washed hair that's piled on top of her head in an extravagant bun that pokes her scalp and is very uncomfortable. And she's wearing these very fine clothes that are way too clean for her liking. The colors are nice. They're very colorful. But she wishes she could be wearing some trousers right now.
Is anyone else present for portrait day in the duchy?
Oh, not if I can help it.
All right, so
I'll be there. Someone needs to supervise. I don't know why it's me. That seems like a bad plan, but...
So where are you sitting in this room? Are you like next to the painter, next to Nettle, kind of just not
Found
really...
a corner where I can watch everybody.
So leaning in the corner is, could you please describe Kat for us, as it is a new season and we have new friends with us?
Certainly. I wrote a thing. So Kat's small. She's about 5'2" and built like an acrobat. She's cute, kind of cherubic with a round face, short, curly copper hair, and big, unnaturally bright green eyes flecked with gold. She's very pale and wears black leather armor and a short hooded black cloak, and she has several swords and daggers on her at all times.
Okay, so Nettle, you're getting your portrait painted. The scene is yours, the two of you.
Stop fidgeting, Nettle.
Could you please hold still? I'm trying to complete the painting for you, Duke.
Can someone come scratch my nose?
Here, run over and scratch your nose real quick.
All right, so you run over, scratch the nose.
It's just
Better.
not the same when someone else does it.
Okay, well, you should almost... Excuse me, painter person?
Oh, yes.
How long are we here?
Oh, I've got just a few more details, then we'll be done for the day, and you can go enjoy your Crafters Day festival.
Wait for the day.
Well, yes, we'll come back and reconvene in the morning after the festival. Don't you want to partake in Crafters Day?
Yeah, I have to come back.
Well, yes. And he turns around the painting, and it's like half done. There's still like the sketch on one and a half. Well, you see, I still have to complete the painting.
Can't you just, like, take a picture and use that as a reference?
Well, excuse me, let me just travel west on a caravan all the way to Imperial Coveth, go purchase a very expensive photography camera, travel back here and take it. I am an artist. I can preserve the beauty and integrity, unlike those cameras that do not even have green vibrancy of color.
Oh.
You insult me. Out of my sight, Duke.
Oh, okay, bye. And she'll rip off like the cape that she was, wearing for the painting and grab Kat's hand and start skipping out.
I'll go with her and I'll lean down and say, so next time we're out west, we're getting a camera, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's just, I've heard of these things. I thought they came out here, but I don't know. Maybe that was just Sprocket spouting some more nonsense about what the humans are doing. So yeah, we should get one, and I want one here because then I don't have to stand so long.
I'm impressed you managed.
1 second.
Okay.
Yeah. She'll turn off, and she'll be right back if anyone else wants to join.
I'll wait in the hallway.
I still haven't gotten used to the fact that these don't flush.
Oh my lord. How we have missed the Star Touch dearly. It's while you're standing in this hallway, Kat, that Sir Gregor kind of walks by and is like, oh, hello. And he's very pointedly heading in the direction of where Rosalind is staying.
Hi, Sir Gregor.
Oh, hi. How are you? Thought you were with Nettle.
She's just going to the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Barely, 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 life is but a dream.
As much as I enjoy Nettle's show tunes, I should get going.
Say hi to Rosalind for me.
Will do, and I'll let her know that I'll tell you when she says hi back. And he just kind of scurries off awkwardly, unsure how to handle, his love interest's murderous best friend. Kat's covered in like knives and daggers and stuff. He's just like, nope. So Rosalind, that's when you get the knock, knock, knock on your door.
Oh yeah, come on in.
And feel free to describe your character as the door opens when Sir Gregor welcomes himself into your chambers.
Kat is currently sitting at her table. She has her legs crossed so you can see her shiny black boots that she has on because her skirt's pulled up a little bit. She likes to dress, maybe modestly isn't the right word, but she's fairly covered considering just how perverted she is. I don't know how to phrase it better. She likes to wear really light colors and smooth, soft fabric. So like silky. Today she's wearing a long lilac dress, and it has the sleeves that go all the way down to cover pretty much like the little gloves at her hands. And she has her cloak off. It's lying on her bed because, this is casual, relaxed time. You don't need heavy wear like that for trouncing around the castle. She is very pale, unnaturally pale. She is not like I mean, I'm pretty pale for a white person, but she's beyond that. She's like my door, just a shade paler, and she has very long, like mermaid length platinum hair, kind of silvery blonde. She has green eyes that do not have normal round pupils. They are slit pupils, perhaps an indicator of her draconic heritage, so she claims, but the DM keeps saying otherwise, ruining everything voice in the sky, all my secrets. And it's what he do. And she is pretty much always accompanied by her little bestie, Fang, which is a very small dragon. They are a mixture of blue and purple shades swirled together. It seems to be a slightly different mix every time they're summoned, so it'd be hard to pick them out of a crowd of blue and purple mixed dragons, but fortunately there aren't a lot of those, so they're pretty distinctive.
So Sir Gregor, in his wonderful, charming demeanor, is just like, if I'm interrupting you with anything, I can...
Like, I'm just reading about cults.
Oh.
It's fine. It can wait. It's not urgent.
Oh, well, what cult are you reading about? I've kind of had to handle a few of them in my time.
Well, this is just... And she picks up the book and turns it around, and it says in, like, little block letters, Baby's First Cult Book.
Oh my god.
It's just like an A to Z sort of really simple guide. I thought, I want to get a handle on all the different, let's say, threats that are out there, but it seems like all the books on them are really heavy reading, you know what I mean? So I thought, let's just start somewhere very basic, and it's like, as far as Thor the Terrible and that sort of thing, and it gives you like a 1 or 2 sentence rundown, and then you can move on with your life, and I can see from there what I want to look at.
Okay, well, if you want to chat cults as we stroll through the Crafters Mart later today, it's a date on me, and I'll get you something nice, and we can enjoy the festival for Crafters Day.
Oh, I would love that. So this is a picture book, so it won't take too much of my time, but although the art is lovely and terrifying. Have you seen this?
Oh, that is... Ooh, quite disturbing. Look,
She just
Roz.
opens it up to the middle. Something like black and amorphous with a bunch of eyes everywhere.
Are you getting involved with, are you trying to start one? Did you run into one?
Do you think I could run my own cult?
I think you're a strong woman with a lot of leadership skills, and, well, I was wondering how you'd begin to apply. Essentially looking after your friends.
Well, starting my own cult wasn't the idea at the top of my head, but I mean, now that you bring it up, it is an attractive option.
Well, look, as long as you're not starting some sort of religious sect devoted to a dreadlord, I'm sure it goes over fine. Just kind of pick one of, just say you're starting some special sect of the Astral Star, and...
I was thinking about just making up something, like maybe something with a volcano and some terrible person named Xenu, something like that.
And he chuckles and he's just like, "Oh, Rosalind, you're always so funny." I'll meet you. I'll meet up with you later. I have some things I have to take care of, paperwork. Ugh.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll be here, or probably like loitering around the kitchen, probably, if you want to come. If you want to grab me, or let's say when the sun starts to set, I meet you somewhere.
Sure. Could meet in the gardens. That seems a good place to meet. And then we can set out for the march from there and have a good time.
Well, you know how much I love to have a good time, Gregor.
Hey.
Have fun with your work. I'll see you later.
Yes, you enjoy your day off.
I will.
And we pan away from this wonderful scene here. Who else wants to do things? Don't all jump at once. Don't make me. You don't want me to start making the scenes.
I'm down meditating in one of the gardens.
Well,
So
man,
if we
at
want
any
to do
point,
that.
Yeah, at any point, I can bust right out of the bathroom. I'm ready. I just gotta
When
wash
does the
my
festival
hands.
start?
Yeah, like midday is like when the marketplace will open up, but then like in the evenings when the fun stuff happens.
Okay.
Oh, the fun stuff.
You see where the forest festival is all about like, getting like toasty in the woods. This one's about getting toasty with artists and crafts people and like appreciating like fine workmanship. That's what this festival's all about.
I like it.
So Creek Hazel, you're reflecting in the garden. Crafters Day is kind of a big deal in Dragonfrost. Being a good crafter or artisan is very valuable to your culture, especially considering you live in, well, essentially Antarctica of the world. And so you're sitting amongst tall grass and wild flowers in this garden. The warmth of the sun touches your face as the scents of flowers and fresh air fill your senses. The ground is soft and it's quiet. It's almost perfect. Feel free, go ahead and describe Hazel for me.
Hazel is a tall, white-scaled dragonborn who no longer has gray scales amongst himself. He is wearing purplish robes, like a deep purple, almost a pink, that kind of trail down to his feet. But right now, those are kind of pushed to the side as he's wearing just like a normal white tunic. And one of his hands is completely frostbitten, and it seems like beyond him doing that. And he's just kind of reaching down with his other hand, and there's little veins of frost kind of sprouting out from the spring ground around him. He's just kind of sitting there pensively, just kind of thanking nature, as he hasn't done that in quite some time.
So you're doing this, you're thanking nature, and it happens slowly, but you don't really start to pay any heed to it as like kind of wisps of darkness kind of slowly overtake the serene scene you're sitting in and engulfs your peaceful state. Floating rock slabs float up from the abyss below, as does a giant floating skeleton, titanic in proportions, the ribs serving as like a sort of haunting tunnel to the skull above, where you see young Krukala, your sister, dancing in front of the pillar-like teeth. She calls out to you.
I'm just gonna kind of like shake myself from my vision, wait, like breathe heavily for a few minutes, and then try to go back into this meditation. And I'm assuming the same result.
Yeah, you are still being, your mind is being kind of swayed toward this dark vision, this place you don't want to go. And so you're begin navigating these floating stones. It's not of like it's like kind of like natural instinct for you to go to your sister, and you're navigating these stones, and the giant vertebrae and the titan's skull only seems to get further away from you. You're looking up at Krukala again, but now her form is misshapen with energy, like this just energy beam as a central eye. From like the heavens, these massive burning halos covered in blinking and looking eyes all over them begin to surround the figure as it begins to float up in one form with these spinning eye-covered halos just orbiting around it, as a small silhouette form begins to radiate this nebulae like energy, and like its silhouette forming an eye with this nebula energy, and you just kind of hear this voice that just speaks, and the energy just goes out from the thing, and then your vision snaps and you're back in the garden.
I kind of I'm in one of those like monk trances where I'm kind of floating off the ground a little bit, and I just kind of like fall to the ground, kind of pick myself up and go over. Confounded, I don't need to meditate anyways. And I'll stand up and I'll get my staff and I'll kind of throw my robes over my shoulder and kind of hurriedly, probably one of the more shaken Krukazel has seemed, kind of run up back to the tower. And how long did you say it's been since last episode? Just like a day? Or...
It's been about like a day, yeah.
Okay. And unlike last night when he was keeping his door open for anyone that needed him, he is going to shut it and lock it. That's all I got for now.
Okay, well, poor Creek Hazel. Anyone else got anything they would like to do? This is just kind of whenever we're ready to have everyone convene and begin discussing the bigger things that be.
I suppose around this time, Gray would be coming back with his brand new duds, his new clothes. The Warlock's new clothes.
Would you like to describe what this looks like?
Okay, so Gray is a gray-skinned tiefling. Long white hair done up in a ponytail with just two kind of like strands of group of strands kind of framing his face. His gray horns kind of curl back over his head and point up a little bit. His clothing is various shades of white and purple. He has a bit of leather armor that looks almost more like a leather jacket that is purple and has gold accents. One of them is just this pair of large angelic golden wings. He is tugging on some gloves that are also purple and gold accented. He is not used to wearing gloves like this. Previously, his sleeves covered his entire hands all the time because they were emaciated and thin and very much not super useful. And now he has new fancy spectral arms as a result of him dying at the end of the last time, and or the last fight, I should say. His cloak, his new cloak, is white, and around the hood and around the sleeves are these intricate, celestial, almost Art Deco golden symbols. Which has the sleeves are still long enough to cover his arms because that's how he's comfortable. He's done it for many years, and not gonna stop doing it now. On his back is his staff, which is probably about 4 or 5 feet gnarled wood, and in the middle is this large oval, like moon opal. And on his shoulder is his little white rat celestial familiar, Nez. And he's just kind of walking in, like, tugging on these gloves, still trying to feel them out still.
Okay. And where are you headed?
Just back into the keep from whatever like shopping place he would have found his clothing.
Yeah, you probably
ordered it and then he went to pick it up.
And with it being like Crafters Day, you're probably able to like find a really good tailor who's not from the area to make this like really intricate and quite lavish coat. So you're strolling back into the keep. It's kind of bustling, there's a festival going on today. You're greeted by a few people who work in the keep, a few of the stewards and what have yous. I don't like to use the phrase servant, but they're paid. They're butlers, I suppose. And anything else you're doing, or are you just kind of waiting for people to head out for the day?
I would probably just like in the kitchen kind of just like sit down. He definitely walked in with like a large turkey leg in his tail. He was probably like eating a little bit of as he was walking and trying to figure out his new clothing.
Okay, very nice.
Very Ren Fair.
Love it. And Sam, I think the last one we haven't heard from yet is Mouse now. What is Mouse up to?
Mouse has spent most of their time since we received that letter the last time we
the extradition request for Jade.
The extradition letter, yeah. They've been pretty much holed away actually in their room for a change instead of outside somewhere. And haven't really left it. I think, though, that at this point, they're preparing to go see Jade.
Okay.
So they're going to... Before, though, they actually are gonna be stopping by the kitchen because they wanted to go pick up some like nice food to bring him, assuming that they are not really feeding him the best in the cells. So
Okay. Would you like to describe Mouse as they head to the kitchen?
Sure, yeah. Mouse is a small, 5 foot tall, sickly, thin tiefling or descendant of the Dreadlords with pale, Dreadblood. I wasn't sure what you were gonna use. With pale green skin. Right now, it's actually a little bit paler than usual, and they're looking a little bit thinner than usual. They have big yellow eyes and yellow freckles. They've got large bucked front teeth and overly large deer-like ears and black antlers that poke out the top of their head. And there's a small green deer tail that sort of pokes out from between the tails of their black frock coat, which has purple detailing. And this is a new coat that they got with everybody, and it has a very subtle embroidery on the back that you wouldn't really see unless you were close to it because it's just black thread on black fabric, but it's a really large shape of like a stag's head, and the antlers branch like up over their shoulders. And it's definitely something nicer than they would normally choose themselves. But they are sort of clattering down the hall on their black hooves, making their way into the kitchen.
So you run into the familiar form of the bugbear chef, Alfredo. He's got like his mustache is done curled up. He's got a big floppy hat. He only wears like pants and an apron, and he just kind of like Wookiees everything else. There's all this fur everywhere. And he's just kind of like, yeah, and he's like making omelets and making all kinds of good food. And then,
oh, Green Bean, you are here. Do you need me to prepare a package again?
Yeah, if you do not mind, that would be very nice.
Well, anything for you, your greenness.
Donka?
And he just kind of begins like getting a bunch of food together. Just kind of putting it in like a little basket for you.
Mouse is pretty pointedly like not actually looking at any of the food right now.
And would you like, is there anything I need to make for you special?
No, thank you. Not for me today, but I appreciate it. That is very kind.
Okay, I do know how to make things sit well.
Maybe later. I don't know if I would be able to keep anything down right now anyway. But thank you.
Oh, I understand, of course. If you ever do need anything.
And he kind of leans down. He's like,
let me know. I do specialize in special cooking.
God damn it, chat. Sorry.
Waka waka.
Oh, waka waka.
Look, I know how to do 3 voices. I've smoked a pack of cigarettes all day. Simpsons and Futurama characters and Muppets. That's all I can do. Okay, this is the stream you've signed up for.
Thank you. Jesus. I'm broken now. Thank you very much. That is most kind, but I think just the package for today.
Okay.
Well, and he just kind of just puts the basket gently, like he's really gentle because he's much bigger and much more built than you are. Where you're like around the you said Mouse is like short and
oh yeah, they are 5 flat.
Yeah, Alfredo's like 8. There's a 3-foot difference between you two. So Alfredo's trying to be
this whole time.
Alfredo's trying to be like super delicate as he hands you the basket. And it's not like because he's like, oh, I'm taking pity on the poor little tiefling. More like, I'm trying not to crush you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I get it. They'll take it and just be like, Dongashan, I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. And you come back if you ever need anything else.
I will enjoy the festival.
Oh, you too.
Thank you.
And so you've got your food. You are in the kitchen.
Okay. Well, I don't know if Gray is already there. If you arrive, like, while I'm getting my care package, that's up to you, I guess.
I can say that Gray comes in after you've already left.
Sure.
Make things easier for you, because I know
No, it doesn't matter. But I will. Mouse is gonna make their way down to the jail then to go and visit Jade. You are muted, Alex.
So you're heading there now.
I mean, yeah, I guess. No, I can wait if that is better for something you had planned.
No, I don't got anything planned. I was just wondering if you were doing, if the party wanted to chat about the Jade issue.
I mean, Mouse was kind of planning to talk to him to see really what they feel about their own suggestions.
Okay.
So
then I remember the other big thing we wanted to do was talk to Branson's dead body.
Yeah.
That's
we can
really
do that
weird.
first. If we
That's
want to do
really
the discussion
weird.
first, then that's fine.
I don't have any preference. I was just wondering what order of operations do we all want to take as a group?
What are y'all feeling? It's easy enough for me to just bump into Nettle and Kat on my way out in the hallway, and we can decide if we want to have a big meeting first.
I feel like the whole group should convene and figure out what we want to do.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, we can just say, because the story requires it, everyone kind of conveniently meets up in the same place at the same time.
Or we could go get people.
Yeah, that's fair. Instead of having to go through the arduous task of grabbing every individual character, we grab every character and get them to meet up.
Yeah.
Let's go to the therapy room, everyone.
The therapy room.
They do have a nice little fireplace lounge room that they get little desserts delivered to them for their emotional chats. It's happened in season 1 and now it's gonna happen in season 2.
Listen, we've been through some shit, okay?
Good old crew counseling.
Good old crew counseling.
All right, everybody into the room.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Sure.
I think we need to have a quick chat before we go to the festival because there's some things that have been unresolved since yesterday.
Okay.
We also want to come up with a festival game plan while we're here. I want to make sure collectively we all sample food from every booth.
Oh
I
yeah,
think that's
is that
important.
What we're talking about?
We need to talk about
Yeah.
any artwork we want to put up on the walls here at the tower. Nettle needs to make it her own space.
All right. So I think as Duke, I can probably get a map of where all the best samples are gonna be, and then we could come up with a route. I'm sure I could ask somebody. I got connections now.
Are you meaning an inside connection to the judges' rating system so we can cross-reference it with a map and make a route?
Oh. So then, we want to do it in order of worst to best or best to worst. Or do we
Well,
just
I mean, we want to
the
make
worst
sure we
and
get
do
the
that?
best,
Oh.
right? Some people
Well,
like the worst, though.
If I'm gonna be organizing this, I need to know the details.
Well, that's
See
why
if
we're
you
here.
can get a map and the rating system here, and we can consult and pick our top points that we want to hit.
Who is your strategist, Nettle?
Oh, I mean, yeah, we aren't doing any battles right now, so he's probably not.
That's who
doing
you'd
anything.
want to consult with this, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't Sophia your strategist?
Is she?
Sophia, you put Sophia in charge of your military.
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna go get Sophia. 1 second.
I think that's an appropriate task for her. She'll love this.
So Nettle, you have
She's
to
gonna come with us, right?
We'll have to.
So
She'll
Nettle,
be the
you,
one in charge of collecting us.
you find Sophia. She is practicing her sword fighting with this massive, two-handed great sword, and she's just using it with beauty and grace because she's Sophia and she's the coolest fucking person ever. And I can say this because she's my NPC. She's the coolest fucking person ever. She's like, she's not in any armor, but she has like the gauntlets on to protect her hands from the sword for any stray swings. She kind of just wears like this loose-fitting, baggy white shirt, and her hair's done up in a very messy battle bun, her signature look.
Lady Sophia.
Oh, Nettle, yeah, sorry, I didn't see you. And she's like halfway through a swing.
Oh, hi. Are you busy?
No, I'm just striking this here practice dummy.
I think the proper term is decoy.
Oh yes, my apologies, Duke.
We're not doing any battles or anything right now, right?
No, but that's why I've got to stay sharp in case we end up having to fight a conflict.
Do you want to do some strategy exercises?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. And she kind of like goes and picks up like this large leather sheath and starts sheathing this massive sword, and she like slings it over her shoulder.
Okay, excellent. Because we need a map of the festival, and then we need to get the judges' ratings of like food stuff.
Forgive me, my Duke. Do you plan to besiege the festival?
The festival foods plan to besiege our tummies.
Oh, okay.
So we need to plan out the best route for the festival.
Wait, aren't you supposed to be getting your portrait done?
Wait a second. Did Rosalind just send me over here to... Wait a second.
Yeah, we go back to the rest of the party where Nettle's been sent out.
Back to Rosalind reading her children's picture book, sipping on a glass of wine. Yes. So what's everyone else up to today?
Well, we have a ghost to talk to.
Yeah, we do. Let me know what you want to ask that guy. I can do that whenever.
I have a few ideas, but anyone have any input they feel important that they want to know from Branson before we get to that?
Allow me to take the reins of this meeting. Would we like to, A, go talk about Jade first, or B, talk to the dead man?
Jade feels more pressing.
B
and
feels
it's at
more
this
pressing.
moment
Great.
when
Jade will remember that.
It is at this moment Nettle and Sophia walk in. They've got like a massive map of the settlement, and so sorry.
That's all right. The strategy corner's back left.
Okay, and Sophia begins setting up the strategy map of the festival while you discuss your plans.
To be quite honest, Branson isn't getting any more dead. Is there a time limit as to which we need to speak to him?
His talking area needs to stay intact, so mostly it's just an issue with Mouse, how long they want to keep casting. What is it, the pretty corpse spell that you put on him?
Yeah, I mean, we can just call it that for now. That is fine.
My little pretty corpse. As long as they can keep casting that, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I can do that pretty much, as much as we need.
Alright, so we want to talk about Jade first then. Mouse, have you had any epiphanies overnight?
Mouse is like, damn it, I didn't think this one through. I mean, I don't know about epiphanies. I think it is important that Jade goes to have his trial, though. Maybe we could try to convince them to approve the idea of him serving Bolero Grim instead. I don't know if that would be good enough for them, or anybody else, but it might be, I suppose, worth a try. It does not feel right to I suppose, break him out otherwise.
Alright, and you want to attend the trial, correct?
Yeah, I think I actually have to. But
Oh, right.
I need to be there for him anyway.
Alright, sounds good. Well, we got that squared away. Fantastic. We set out whenever we need to. Now, on to Branson Dead Talk.
Just one last addendum to that. I do believe that I have, if I'm recalling correctly, the ability to just call Baloragrim whenever I deem necessary. I think she'd set up a two-way line in my head. I feel as though her presence at the trial may be beneficial. Two august bodies such as the Empire and the Blackcoats may falter a bit under the full size of an ancient golden dragon.
Was she a golden dragon? Okay.
Yeah,
I
she
was
was
gonna
a
ask.
big golden dragon.
Good
Jordan-
old Big B.
Jordantarax doesn't do anything with golden dragons, does he?
His dad is
Yeah,
the
that's right.
god of the golden dragons, so you get a little crossover there.
Yeah, I was rereading lore docs the other day.
Yeah, I've done.
Alright.
We've made a few minor changes to some of the lore in those lore docs.
Either way, I feel that her presence may be beneficial to us.
Alright, we'll call her and let her know when we set out, I guess.
Do we need to make sure she is okay with, your idea before we go and propose it?
Yeah, if I've learned one thing about dragons, you really should ask permission.
That's true about anything, Nettle. But yes.
Well, she did say that she owed me, and, by extension, the rest of us, a favor for getting all of her children back, so I'm a little...
Jade was the one to have a hand in taking her children in the first place, so I don't know how she'll feel about helping him.
Also, I don't know if this is a cheerocracy, but I don't want to vote to use my dragon favor on Jade. Dude's an asshole. Fuck that guy. No offense, Mouse. You're not.
This is...
Oh, that
I
is
think
valid.
It's less for Jade and more for Mixed Mouse.
I
But
hate to drop my strategizing, but I don't think we should really push it too hard. And I don't like to say that because that doesn't end well for Jade, and I have a lot of rules I have to follow now.
Sophia kind of strides up next to Nettle, and she's like, I hate to interject, but she's right. As the Duke, she really... If she were not to hand Jade over for trial and not respect the sentence that the coats pass, you're looking at some serious political trouble.
This was easier when we were just a bunch of mercenaries.
Also, frankly, you would never know if it was me. But anyways, that's a fun thought.
Well,
Okay,
um,
okay. How badly do we want Jade not dead?
I mean, I don't want Jade dead. I just
No. But how badly do we want him not dead? That seems to be the more important statistic here.
Personally neutral to preferring dead, actually. Again, sorry, Mouse. But, he killed your mom, Cat. I don't like him being around.
Yeah, me neither. So it's one for neutral to dead.
well, having just gone through losing a sibling, I don't exactly want Mouse to have to go through that as well. Even if Corvus and I weren't always on the best of terms.
It's just... How badly do we want to stick our necks out for this guy? I mean,
I reiterate, it's less for him because he is pretty much a complete knob, and more for Mixed Mouse.
Unfortunately, I don't know if the judges are gonna see it that way. And I'm sorry, Sophia, but no offense. What kind of happens with when what you don't follow the rules is how I'm Duke now?
Yeah.
Not your fault. It was your dad's fault.
Yes, I'm
sorry. I shouldn't
well
be talking
aware.
about this. This is awkward. Anyway.
No, it's okay. His sins are something been cleaning up after for most of my life. So,
And I didn't want him to die either.
No, and it's okay. It's just you are in a tight bind if you don't want this fellow to die because, quite frankly, she kind of looks back over the letter. The charges they've levied against him usually result in death.
And quite frankly, as impressive as Belorogrim is, it's an entire empire. I mean, one gold dragon versus an entire army.
You're not even just talking about one empire. And she looks at the whole document.
Yeah.
You're talking about 3 separate kingdoms.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm really worried about it. And I don't normally have to worry about things. And it's scary.
Nettle, you're doing a great job. I'm gonna leave. And I walk out.
Hold on.
I'm gonna go get my orb and cast scrying, but we can come back to that if we want to continue the conversation.
Okay, that's fine.
I was kind of trusting Caucasiel to be another rational person in the room. Whose opinion was important.
Season 2, everything's different.
Oh, he's probably about to make some grand gesture. I'm sure everything will be fine. And it's not a big deal.
He is too. Damn it.
Let's give him a minute.
Well, I think it is safe to say I am probably the only one who does not want him sentenced. But I do not want anybody, so to speak, sticking their neck out for me or for him like that. This is, they'll sort of look at Nettle and be like, this is something, I know that you have a much bigger responsibility than to me and my feelings now, and you need to do what is right for all of Balin, and I know that means sending Jade to his trial. And I do not blame you for that, Nettle.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt you or hurt anybody, but if I didn't know you and I wasn't worried about you, I would want him to face what he did.
He should. He is, he is an adult. He knew the consequences of what would happen if he was caught. And, if he needs to face them, then he will.
I agree with Mouse, Nettle. I think it's an important distinction to learn here that letting someone face the consequences of their action is not you hurting them. They did it themselves.
Yes, you mentioned my father before. The reason he's dead is the consequences of his actions.
I'm really sorry for bringing that up again.
It's okay. It actually contributed to the conversation.
I'm not used to that.
And there's no way we could testify maybe and lobby for some kind of parole or something.
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of, serving Belorogrim for the rest of his natural life, but...
Well, I'm gonna put Belorogrim in, we can ask, but I wouldn't want him anywhere near me. I don't want him anywhere near me.
Also, is slavery better than death? I don't know, we could, as a favor to Mouse, we can ask Jade what his preferred consequences would be.
and lobby for that on his behalf.
You could lobby for a penal colony in Wotica. Nettle, it means it's a prison colony, not that. Never mind.
I can read lots of things.
You hear a muffled chuckle from the other room.
How bad are the conditions on the colonies, though?
I am not an expert on Covithian correctional practices, but considering he's a heretic, they won't be very good.
Yeah, there are some fates that are worse.
If the Empire would even allow for that, considering his heresy.
I don't think we could count on that. I mean, the Black Coats maybe, but even that would be pushing it. It is a really big thing to betray the guild like he has.
Sophia looks directly at Nettle. I don't need to be mean to be crass in front of my Duke and a child, but quite frankly, your green villain, he fucked himself when he made all these decisions. These crimes are all punishable by death in every territory he's in, because he is under the Black Coats law, and their law says you shall not be. Mouse, you know.
Mouse is just like looking down, like, yeah, I know.
I mean, quite frankly, Mouse, if I hadn't been stopped, however long ago that was, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah, I know.
So
that would have been better.
Well, at least you got to sort of reconcile first, but quite frankly, it feels like a delayed inevitable.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. He needs to face justice. He needs to go to trial. And I know what I know about the Black Coats, and I know what I know about the Inquisitors in the Empire, and I do not think a lenient sentence is likely.
Sophia's head just goes down as she's like, nope.
Then again,
he knew that too.
Weren't you talking about bringing down the entire thing from the inside, or from the outside, or just in general?
Yeah, still in favor of that. I have a very low opinion of the Empire.
Nettle, as your chief strategist, I highly advise against going against the Empire of Kovith.
At this time, I have been advised not to speak ill of the Covidian Empire or take any plans or make plans. I can't be involved officially in a conspiracy.
Oh, now it feels like I'm home.
Is that what? Did I do that
Look,
right?
How do we involve you unofficially? Do we kick Sophia out?
Look, I'm gonna go grab everyone some ice cream and some drinks and some tea. Y'all have your little discussion about that while I'm gone.
There's nothing to discuss. Nothing's happening.
Yeah, we're just gonna talk about our fair plans. It's fine. You've convinced us. You don't need to worry about it. It's fine.
She's out of the room. Everyone's like, all right, so how are we gonna fuck him up?
Listen, I'm not saying we have to do it now, because quite frankly, I don't think we have the firepower or strength or necessary alliances to do anything about the Emperor. I'm just saying, I'm not a fan.
I'll come back in whenever the moment arises.
Let's do your thing first.
Did you read it already?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I wanted you to narrate it.
Okay.
Ooh.
I go into my room and I get out my orb that I don't know what the fuck it's called anymore. And I am going to scry on the gentleman whose life I decided was not someone we were going to kill in Verdrid during the Fire Skunk battle.
Was it Joseph the Vagrant Knight? I think his name was Joseph. I'm
Yeah.
convinced.
Sure, Joseph.
So you scry on him. I remember y'all messed him up pretty good.
Mhm.
And it looks like as you're scrying on him, you see him. He's currently in Arnica for Crafters Day, and he's working an honest job at I don't remember the name of the tavern you stayed in. It was like the Golden Dragon or something silly like that.
Mm-hmm. I'll put the orb down and come back in and just kind of like silently sit down and be like, my vote's Jade alive.
Wow. That was big.
Oh. I don't know if it's if we can really make it work, though.
Mouse, I think the decision is yours, and you already know that I would break him out if you allowed me to. So just tell me what to do.
Okay, well, no, it is true everything I said before. He needs to go to trial. Maybe we can try for something more lenient. I don't know if it will work, but we could try.
Okay. So the Jade discussion seems to have reached its kind of natural conclusion that he will go to trial, but there will be an appeal in regards to sentencing, something that the Blackcoats do actually take. They're not absolute tyrants. So the next discussion is Dead Guy Branson, if we want to move into that discussion.
Okay, so questions for Branson.
I think my biggest concern with him is, with him gone, is there going to be anyone on maybe a rung below him that we need to worry about becoming the new him?
Good thought. So, does he have any successors? I want to know what precisely he was doing with the Dreadlords. Because that seems concerning. We know he was corrupting Corvus with, I think it was the blood of Dreadlords. I think.
The blood of the specific Dreadlord Blackheart, Lord of Shadows, Hatred, and Terror.
So how did he get that, and what did he mean to do with it? And potentially, is that still a concern? Could his actions have led to that Dreadlord having access to our world, or?
Friendly voice in the sky again. Just don't want you to use up one of your questions here. You do know where he got it. Nora Lynn and him found it in Gorag Shek in Dragon Sand. So, and it came from the heart of Blackheart, like his demonic heart that stayed on the plane.
Okay, all right. I had forgotten that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Was it actually a black heart, or was that just like?
I mean, yeah, his heart is like tar black, and like instead of blood, it like would ooze tar.
Neat.
I still like to know what exactly he was trying to accomplish with the Dreadlord thing, like what the goal of that experiment was, because you don't really have a concrete answer on that.
Well, I don't know what he was planning to do, and I suppose this is as good a time to tell the rest of you as any. I do know one of the side effects it seems to have had on my mother.
Oh?
I spoke with her recently, and she is very ill. The corruption that we struck from Corvus seems to have passed to her. And I believe what she was telling me is that if we are to save her, then we might need to find Blackheart himself and do away with him.
So, is Blackheart still alive? I was under the impression he was dead.
Do away with him? I mean, that's possible.
Banished from the mortal realm's a good term for you, those with that kind of knowledge.
I believe he has a plane or some such that he calls a home. He kind of raises his hands to do the fingers and then kind of looks at his hands because he's not used to doing that. So it is possible to find him, perhaps using the heart that he left behind.
Okay. So another question, perhaps, is there more gold ether the biomancers had stored somewhere that we could somehow gain access to? How many questions is that? 3? 4? 3.
Aether, what was
Successors.
he planning on doing, and successors?
Yeah, and what was the goal? So it's 3. 2 more?
Is it 5 questions?
I think so.
Okay.
Any other suggestions?
No, this is your dead guy. I'm just facilitating this talk, so.
Remember what I wanted to ask him? It's been like a month and a half.
It's been a while. It's been such a stressful time. It feels like it's been a lot longer than it has, you know?
Yeah.
It was a very long night.
Yeah.
I'd like to know
I'm bored.
how he got in touch with my parents and how he convinced them to work with him.
That would be good, yeah. Or anything really, maybe about any other allies he might have.
Just a blanket general information, like what can you tell us about allies of the Biomancers?
Yeah, I mean, if he has, I don't know, people who have agents or something hiding in, like, the Empire or the Blackcoats for all we know. I mean, Jade pretended to be in them several times, so if they have more people like that, it could be good to know.
I feel as though if we found another large base of operations for the Biomancers, maybe leaving an anonymous tip for the Steam Church might behoove us. Maybe let them take care of that.
Nora Lynn, in her final letter to Kat, did mention that she had betrayed all of their locations that she was aware of to the Inquisition.
So is that 5 questions? Gold Aether, what the goal of the experiment was, any successors, how they got in touch with my parents, and any allies that might still be out there. That's 5.
Yeah. That is 5. Is that what you want to do?
Unless there's anything anyone else thinks might be more pressing.
If something is pressing, I mean, we can always ask again tomorrow.
That's true. I'd like to do this as few times as possible.
That's fair. That doesn't seem like a particularly pleasant man, kind of like a slimy squirrel.
He's not gonna tell us anything, anyways.
Very negative of you, Gorgazel.
He's not.
He might.
Rosalind, you've disguised yourself as somebody else when we've been interrogating these people before, haven't you?
Well, yes, that is my usual method. So it may be hard to believe because I make friends so easily, but usually when I'm talking to dead people, they don't like me that much. Maybe I had a hand in their death typically. I don't know, but they see me and they're like, fuck you, I won't answer any of your questions, or they're just outright lies, which is like the opposite of helpful. So I just look like somebody that they trust.
Who does Branson trust?
Should we start with that as question number 1?
Well, I don't know if he'd even tell you, and then if he did, he'd know what we were up to.
I don't know.
Would he trust Jade? Seems like he would, right? He would know Muertos is dead.
What about Corvus? He doesn't know Corvus is dead.
He also knows Corvus is an enemy, though.
Yeah,
right?
I think he also hated Corvus, and I don't know if Miss Roz's voice can go that deep.
It can. I'm a very good actress. I would say it's almost like a supernatural ability if I were going to classify it. I think I'd be more worried about Corvus is very big. I can only make myself so beefy. The wings.
I mean, I could like sit on your shoulders.
You look like wings?
I could flap my arms real hard.
It's more the feathers. We're gonna have to get you feathered.
Okay.
That means you're gonna have to roll around in glue and then roll around in feathers. That's gonna be real sticky. You gotta commit to this. Think about what you're volunteering for.
All right, my fancy dress from Portrait Day may have you confused, but this is me.
Or I could stand behind you and manifest the wings that I actually have.
Yeah.
Fine.
Are they the right color, though? He had black wings.
No, they are not. That's a good point.
Would Branson speak to Lillian, maybe? I mean, he seems... I mean, except for the weird experimentation part, he seems to kind of like her. Or something. Like, I don't
Worth a
know.
shot.
He seemed to think very highly of her.
I mean, she was always his favorite. It's worth a try.
Yeah, she was being converted or doing something weird at the time too, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, he would know that she is probably still alive, too.
I
Not
think that's our best
necessarily-
bet.
He would not necessarily know we cured her.
Well, I can be Lillian. She pulls up her napkin from under her wine glass and looks at it. Okay, this is what I wrote down. I have, do you have any biomancy successors? Okay. What was the goal of your experiment with Dreadlord blood? Good. Everything sounds good there. This one I just rolled gold aether stars? It's not a real sentence. Are we wanting to know, like, does he have them somewhere that we could read, or what
It's
is
a
the
full
question?
sentence if you add a period to the end.
There are still no could be the gold aether storing something. That's a good point. Stores can be an active verb. Well spotted, Nettle. But that it needs to be a question. We need to do this in the interrogative.
Maybe who is their supplier or something?
Do they have any, and if so, where?
How about where would you acquire more gold aether?
Perhaps phrase it as though Lillian had planned to destroy it so it couldn't be used against the rest of the biomancers. Lest he be suspicious as to why she needs it.
Do dead people get suspicious? I don't know.
Well, they don't normally talk, so anything is possible.
Oh, it depends on who you are. I see dead people all the time. Let's see. Okay. So if we're phrasing it to be like malicious toward the gold stores, I'll say, where are the remaining gold stores to be disposed of? To be disposed. Okay. Then I have, how did he get in touch with the Partridge family? Convince them to work with him. That's 2 questions. What exactly? How do I narrow that down? What is the most important part that you want to get out of this?
How did he single out the partridges? Because I have a sneaking suspicion I know what he did to get them to work with him.
Okay. You'll single out the Partridge family. She scribbles on her napkin. And then lastly, what can you tell us about the allies, the remaining allies of the Biomasters? Yeah? I'm seeing lots of sad nods. That's good. That's our group coming to a unhappy consensus. I like to see it. Okay. All right. She gets the camera focus and then snaps her napkin closed like it's a book.
Oh my god.
I'm going to go march down to the, what do you call it? The dead person cave that we have.
Okay. And before we do that, we'll just take a quick break. We'll talk to Branson, talk to Jade in his cell, and then fun festival times!
Yay!
Yay!
That was Mouse not being excited.
Yay, festival.
Oh, yay.
How we? And we are back. Welcome back to the SteamSpell Prologue, where we're kind of resolving some things from the last season and getting us our characters all revved up and ready to go season 2 for the plots they are going to chase in adventures to come. Our crew has decided that they want to go talk to dead Dr. Branson, and then Mouse is going to go talk to Jade in the prison cell. And then festival time, because that's gonna be fun. So we go to Rosalind, who is taking the time to disguise herself as Lillian. Is everyone coming with for this endeavor, or is it only like a few?
I think the fewer people, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm
going.
gonna eavesdrop in the doorway.
Yeah, anybody who wants to be there can. Like, I will just pull his skull up, and you can stand behind him if you want. He's not a big
Why
deal.
do I
Alas,
imagine
for Yorick.
Kat like eavesdropping from inside the room, but just like holding herself up in like the corner of the ceiling, just watching.
All right, so Roz, whenever you are ready, go ahead and just cast your spell. Describe what it looks like.
Okay, well, I guess it's about time to go talk to ODB. So she will cast it is Speak with Dead, which I believe we've done before. That's gonna be later though, actually. So they will get there. She, just as they're walking, kind of morphs into Lillian. It's probably a little unnerving. Still has Ra's voice though. Just, pretty blonde girl. Looks kind of like Cat. Weird fucking voice. Is Lillian staying behind? What's Lillian doing?
Lillian's been kind of chilling out in the library today. She's really excited about the festival.
I did not tell her we'd be doing this.
So pure.
She's just such a good little bean.
Okay, so she will do that on her walk into the Cave of the Dead / mausoleum, whatever word you want to use for it. And when she's there, she will begin casting her Speak with Dead ritual. It takes
10 minutes,
decent
we'll
amount of
say.
that's how long it's supposed to last. I like to think that it would take longer to cast because it's not like they're
Yeah.
gonna be doing this in the middle of combat.
Yeah. Anyway, because we're divorcing from that old system anyway. We're gonna like just kind of wing some of these rules. This is freeform RP. So Roz, you kind of like weave the life force and spirit magic, and the eyes flash red as the corpse slowly gets up, creaks upward. And it has this weird, it's like uncanny life. It's not like, it's very unsettling for those who are eavesdropping. Roz, you're used to this, probably, but like most other people would be really skeezed out by this.
Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning, Lillian.
I have some questions for you now that you're resting.
Oh, yes. Ask away.
First off, do you have a successor that I should be working with?
Well, there was Philip Schuyler, but unfortunately, he died in the fire I heard recently.
It was quite
There
the
was-
blaze.
There's also the good doctor.
Oh, yes.
Out.
Good. The work you're doing with the Dreadlords. What was the goal of that experiment?
Project Blood Angel was to make the perfect warrior to defend ourselves from the scrutiny and ridicule. You were part of that very project. You know this was the most potential.
The gold aether stores. Where are the remaining ones to be disposed of?
They're with the good doctor who's learned how to synthesize it into green aether. That's where you can find more supply, my darling Lillian.
Good. What can you tell us about the remaining allies of the Biomancers? The Star-Touched have been decimating them.
Yes, indeed, they have. We have little allies left. The vampires in Kierkegaard bear down on the good doctor. Skinwald was chased out of Veldemorn in COVID. And all the lords and ladies and dukes and duchesses and majesties that were sponsoring our work rule no longer.
Tough times. Okay. You're giving me lots to think about. Do have one more question for you, Doctor. How did you come to single out my family?
The work of, shall we call him my son, Philip Schuyler, had grabbed their attention. And being affiliated, I was then introduced to those who were so obsessed with a purified bloodline, so I loved the damn nobles. Your parents wanted you gone in exchange for, well, the pure bloodline to rule over the lands uninhibited by some emperor from the west. That's
Well,
what
what a
Nora
gift
told
they
you.
gave me. I wanted to talk to you directly. Well,
Is it hot in here or is it just me?
might be the company you keep, Doctor. I'll talk to you later.
And you just kind of see like this from the back, this wicked toothy grin, this fork tongue, and like just this like demonic snake comes and just pulls the soul from Branson out of the body and just drags it back into hell.
Well, I think that went pretty well. Cat, you want to come out of the shadows?
Yeah, I step it fully into the room.
Were you taking notes?
Not notes, but I did.
Oh, please tell me at least mental notes, because when I'm like in the zone, I'm not really remembering. He rattled off some names, some skill, Philip, Skyguard.
Yeah, the pharmaceutical people from the city. Remember?
Oh,
We
that's
lit
what
their
they are.
warehouse on fire.
Oh, they're probably real pissed at us, like double enemies.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
great.
they don't know it was us. In fairness,
Don't they?
well, they might.
I just talked to a dead man. I think they could probably figure out to torch their warehouse. That's just basic detective work, much less with magic. I mean, magic does magical things. You could do lots of stuff.
Krukizel got Nigel to burn down the warehouse, though, so like there's some degrees of separation there.
But doesn't Nigel like talk to himself and say things all the time?
You have a point. You have a point.
I'm just saying, no plan is foolproof, no plan is fireproof. They might come knocking on our door.
Yeah, we should probably figure out what we're gonna do about them sooner or later.
I feel
Well,
like
that
the
feels-
ghosts in here are laughing. We should leave this room.
Okay.
All right, yeah. Let's talk on the walk back. Did you get the answers that you wanted? There are more gold stores.
That is good. That is very good.
Also, if the green aether is a result of corrupting the gold aether, that means if we find more green aether, there might be a way to synthesize it back into gold aether.
Yes, that.
I think that's what science says. Why are you laughing? It's so serious.
I haven't had the greatest experience with science in the past, so I'll take your word for it. I mostly stab things.
On my hands. Stabbing is used in science.
Looks at scalpel mark. Yeah, I know.
Well, okay, just making clear if that's the field you wanted to go into. You know, the sky is the limit. You could be like, there is a good doctor. Thinking now, the doctor not so good of a doctor. You could be like an actual great doctor if you wanted to.
I'm
Redirect that stabbing energy.
better at killing things than keeping them alive, historically speaking.
So like maybe an autopsy tech who's like ahead of the game.
I suppose. Proactive.
Beautiful. As you two are having this wonderful conversation about science, Mouse, you are preparing to go. You've got the bag from Alfredo, the chef, with the really nice warm cooked meal in there. You're about to ascend the stairs into the dungeons. Or would be descend?
Descend. Ascend is upstairs.
Oh yeah, no, they like to stick them up there because if they escape, there's really nowhere to go.
That's valid. Yeah, Mouse will make their way there. They would find Hazel though. I don't know if he was listening to the conversation or if he went someplace. But they would try to seek him out first.
I'm wherever you want me to be.
All right, I'll come find you. I don't know, maybe you're still in the study or something.
Doing some dental, doing some invoicing.
Sure, I'm probably in my room then, and you kind of knock,
Sure.
and just a bunch of unlocks opens the door.
I'm sorry if I am disturbing you, if you are busy.
You're fine. What is it?
Oh, fella, I need to go and, talk to Jade, and it would be nice to have some company, if that is okay.
Hazel kind of looks back at his invoices, back to Mouse. I guess I could get out of the office for a little while.
I mean, I appreciate it. If you are too busy, it is fine. I totally understand.
It's totally a joke. I'm not doing anything. Let's go.
Well, thank you.
So, you two begin ascending the stairs up. It's a long climb up to the dungeons in the spire. As I said, they like to keep them up there in case they get out. The only way they can go is down. And you pass guards as you're going up the stairs.
On the way, can we retcon? I would say, Mouse, have you ever flown before?
Flown? No.
Do you want to?
But?
Yeah, I could make you into like a bird or something. I know it's a little ironic as the mouse thing, but not as bad as cat and mouse, am I right?
I just got that, Scheisse.
Yeah, I've been sitting on that one for a while.
But I have never flown or anything like that. That sounds pretty amazing.
Sweet, hold still. I'm gonna cast Polymorph on Mouse and make them a giant eagle of their preferred colors.
Green.
Totally still green.
And the eagle totally has the little antlers.
Oh my god.
And I'm going to become my little dragon and fly with them.
So, like, your young dragon form's about the same size as a giant eagle, right?
Nice.
So you both are able to do some, like, synchronized flying, and it's, like, describe what it feels like flying for the first time. Like, shit.
I mean, I don't fucking know. But I think for Mouse, at least, it's probably incredibly freeing. And is kind of a chance for them to like really get outside of themselves, because they would have probably never polymorphed or like shape changed at all themselves. So this is also the first time that they're genuinely not like their like little dreadkin self that makes them feel kind of uncomfortable so often. So I think this is a really interesting and good experience for them to have right before going up to face Jade.
So you both you get back inside. You return your normal forms, and the guards are just kind of like, seen it a bunch.
A dragon.
Look, Sophia used to keep wyverns as pets. Nothing surprises us anymore.
Used to? Does she not have them anymore?
Well, we had some problems with the housing. Anyway, this way.
That's gonna happen. Anyways, thank you.
Did you know Petra's on Buttercup the Second because of that? Opens the door.
Wasn't Rosalind's horse named Buttercup?
I
I just
I
kind of
think-
whisper to Mouse as we walk past these guards awkwardly.
Zaz.
Oh gosh.
So you walk into the dungeons, and it's dingy, and but it's still bright in here because the sun is like streaming in. Rats kind of scurry by. Well, bats actually kind of like just huddle up in corners and squick and squeak a little bit. And you approach Jade's cell, and the guard who's sitting in front of that area just kind of like gets up to give you some space. And as you approach the cell, standing in the rear of it, looking out the small slit window, is Jade. He doesn't turn around as you approach the bars of the 6x8 cell. Jade lets out a pensive grunt before saying, I was beginning to wonder when you'd be back.
Yeah, I am sorry it was a bit longer than I thought it would be. Here I don't know if you have eaten yet, but I brought you this. I thought it might be better than what they give you.
So he backs away from the window, turning around slowly, and he notices Crukazles with Mouse. And unlike previous times you visit him, he pulls up a stool and sits right behind the bars when you speak to him. He doesn't maintain eye contact as he starts kind of like eating the food that Alfredo prepared for him. Very readily too, because it's much better than stale bread.
Have they been treating you well?
As well as you can treat a prisoner, I suppose.
Okay, just, if they ever being, extra cruel or anything, well, you can tell me and I will make sure Duke Nettle knows. I, say it a little loudly to make sure, the guard can hear.
No, it's okay. The guards are very kind. Kind of funny sometimes. Just the food isn't always the best because it's still recovering from food shortage,
Oh, yeah, that is understandable. Well, I hope this is okay.
It's good. Thanks.
I don't imagine you've had any visitors since I last came.
Well, your one friend keeps visiting me in my dreams, but it's annoying, yes. Gray, or whatever his name is, the really quiet one.
I just sort of look over towards Croquet, and I'm like, he can do that?
Look, people with magic are abominations and can pawn society and mess with my head. Ugh.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I can do magic. Thank you very much.
Since when?
Well, since I finished my training.
Well, good for you.
Since, Malfax's help.
Oh, yes. I was wondering when you were going to tell me. It's not like I haven't been watching you in the garden praying to an antlered stick.
Well, I mean, I mentioned it. I am pretty sure, maybe, once.
Maybe. Well, the Blackcoats won't appreciate that very much.
Yeah?
Not as much as they don't appreciate, I don't know, treason. But they won't kill you for that.
Yeah.
At this point, does Jade know about the trial?
He doesn't know, but he's well
Okay.
aware that the fact that he's sitting in a cell, he knows what that means. He knows it's going to happen. It's just a question of when for him.
Yeah. It wasn't an exaggeration when Mouse was like, he fucking knows,
He's well aware of what fate awaits him.
I'm pretty sure Sancho would have drilled it into both of them, during
Yeah.
their training. Well, about that, actually, Hey, I'm just curious. Maybe if, you were to, escape or something, what would you do? Where would you go?
Well, I'd probably go, are we looking for an honest answer, or do you want me to tell you I'd go live a good life and become an honest individual?
You know that I need to know for sure.
Well, I'd go running back to Dr. Branson. What, do you think I'm, come on.
But,
Mouse, you're smarter than that.
well, what if you could not go running back to him?
What do you mean?
He has fallen.
fallen. Well, can he get up?
Uh-huh. So, Mouse will sort of like reach into like their like side bag because they've just brought it with them sort of stewing over it, and they'll just like drop their arrow on the ground that has Branson's name carved into it.
Oh.
They're like, well, he won't be able to hurt anybody else again.
Crew Hazel, you're really good at reading people, and you can tell like whatever confidence and level of like sass Jade has is gone the instant like Mouse pulls out the arrow, and basically the hamsters start running, the wheels turn, and he realizes, oh shit, that person that I've idolized is dead.
I'll just kind of softly say in the background, it didn't take much either.
Oh. So I guess that would change plans then. I'm... Is that why you came here, to tell me you killed him?
No.
I mean, it's fair. You won. You won. Your star-touched friends. You all won.
It wasn't a contest, Jade. You were trying to kill cats. And Crookhazel and all of my friends and me.
And as you mentioned, and me, that's when the field team 6 like kicks the door down for Jade, and he's just kind of like leans back a little bit, like the oh shit.
Yeah. I should also note Mouse's new outfit shows more of their like scarring on their neck, so Jade can clearly see Mortos's bullet hole and also burn scars from their death.
Mouse, I wanted to talk to you about that. Look, you were right. Mothers and father would be very disappointed to know that I tried to hurt you, and I did exactly what I never should have, and for that I am truly sorry. I really am. I became swept up in Branson's goals and being a good apprentice to Muertos. But as for your friends, I was just doing my job. Nothing personal. And he like gives Crookhazel like a really shit-eating look as he says it. Like just like he's like baring teeth as he's like, nothing personal.
I'll start like just behind Mouse so they can't see me. I'll just start casting Blight on my hand, the last spell I cast on him.
Oh.
So, I was really hoping you would, have said something else.
Mouse, this isn't what Mom and Dad told us about when we were kids. That's not how this world works. There isn't good people and bad people. There's just people surviving. I thought we learned that growing up in the Empire, with everything against us.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you can survive without doing the things that you have done.
Yes, and other people do the things I've done on every day and are awarded for their efforts. The Empire of Kovith exists.
You could have, worked to stop people from doing things like that. I mean, if you had stayed and finished training, we would be in the guild together now. We could be doing much better things together.
Oh, Miles. I wish it could have been that way, but this is just who I am.
So,
I'm a pragmatic individual, Mouse. I've always been concerned with our survival because, quite frankly, the world and the gods never were.
So, maybe Kovar was not, but, there are gods who care. And maybe, it is not too late for you to find someone who will listen.
Oh, sure. Like who? I don't think Kovar is going to be happy that I've come to the light at the last moments of my life. We both know what fate awaits me.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's likely Kovar will, never want either of us to, walk in their light, but, there are others, maybe Kirbeth could help you find a better path, or
Okay.
or even Marfax, maybe.
Mouse, no amount of praying for mercy will save my soul.
If you meant for it, it's good. It can make a difference for when you are gone from here.
We've been
Don't-
damned since the day we were born. If we were told that.
We were told that, but it is not true.
And how do you know? Marlfax told you? Are you sure Marlfax isn't just trying to trick you to get you to do his bidding and kill his enemies or whatever it is these gods want with this place?
He would not need to lie to me. I owe Marlfax the fact I am still here now. I would be doing what I could. Even if I was going to wind up in the hells one day. But I know I won't, and you don't have to. If you really, were sorry for the things you did someday, maybe you could find Mama and Papa afterwards.
Sure. Sounds like a plan.
I think you could.
And he kind of just spins himself around on the stool and just leaves his back to you. Thanks for the food, Mouse. I guess the next time you'll be visiting is when they finally request my next tradition.
Well, about that.
Oh, today just keeps getting better, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'll assume Mouse sort of took the time to take the letter to bring up, and they'll slide
Yeah.
it through the bars to him and just be like, you knew this was what would happen when you left me and Sancha years ago.
Well aware.
You
I'm
should have
well aware.
stayed.
Sancho tried to be mom, but she wasn't. And the Black Coats weren't gonna replace anything or give us anything. We were just tools to them. I hope you can see that, Mouse. I don't care who started the order, if he was dread blood like us or not.
You say these things. I mean,
How could you?
Sancha,
Because she's not mom.
she may not be Mama, but she has never said she was or tried to really take her place. She has done so much for both of us. She saved me. I would be rotting in a cell still, probably, without her, and how could you just throw everything she did for us both in her face like that, and in my face like that?
And Jay just lets out a sigh. I don't know. And he just kind of just goes silent after saying, I don't know.
Why did you have to leave? At
No.
all?
No answer, silence. And he just kind of gets up slowly, walks back to the window he was looking out, crosses his arms like a pouty crybaby, and it just does the classic, just shunning, not talking to you right now.
I don't know why you have to be so stubborn like this right now. You saved me so many times growing up. Just let me do something this once to help you, Detlef.
Fine, I will offer up a prayer to Kirbeth, if it would make you happy.
You can't be doing it just for me, and I mean, I don't even just mean that. This trial, we can try to petition for a lighter sentence for you if
What's the point? You can take care of yourself. You've got your friends, and my purpose is dead with everything due to your friends' machinations. There's no purpose to go on.
there was always a purpose.
I'll put
As
my
you-
hand on Mouse's shoulder, and just kind of say to Jade, and what was your purpose again, if you could refresh me? I'm afraid we're not as acquainted as you and your
To
sibling.
go to hell.
Well, it seems that you're quite the bounty hunter. You've hunted people that don't have the right ideals in your head, correct?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Void and its entities?
Not much. Just things here and there.
I'm not going to elaborate on this now because I don't think you're worth it at this moment, but I
Ooh.
do think that there is a place for you with someone that I worship, who takes into account your skill on hunting things that she doesn't want around. Let me know when you decide to be worth it.
Sure. Now, gods, I grow weary of mine visitors. Could you please escort them out? And then, like, the guard comes back over. Okay. He gets really mean when he's angry. Please just go.
Mouse is actually pretty mad themselves right now. They'll just be like, oh yeah, you don't need to tell me he gets mean when he is angry. I know.
Oh, yeah, totally. The twin thing. I see it now. I'm so sorry about this. Do you need a hug?
No. It is fine. I will go.
Okay, please. He smacked a guy last week. Yeah, I don't know. He's throwing a fit. Just go. Don't make him too upset. And he looks back and he keeps looking over at Jade to see how much fuming Jade's doing.
What does Jade look like?
He is just standing, cross-armed, staring out the window.
Okay. I think
Crybaby pose.
kind of as we get ushered.
Yeah,
out.
not like epic. It's like pouty.
Yeah.
It's not epic. It's like not like, oh yeah, Conan's looking over the valley. It's more like, boo-hoo, Conan's feelings got hurt.
I'm gonna leave him like a little scroll with like the simple classic prayer to Boreala and leave it on the edge of the cell.
Okay. Cell times have been had.
Yeah. Mouse is gonna yell a parting shot on the way out, though, kind of like as we're getting ushered out. They are very angry, and they're gonna turn like just sort of over their shoulder and be like, "Yeah, I guess I should have listened to you back in Fenhold and just ended all of this then."
Good one. And as you're walking out, one of the guards is even like, good one. They've like been here for these interactions before, so they're like kind of also like my stand-in of living for this character development because they're the ones who see the family drama. It's like Jerry for them.
Mouse is like so not in the mood for these guards right now and is ignoring them. And they just keep walking like out down from the tower. But we'll stop like to sort of wait for Crook Hazel.
Yeah, I'm going with him.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna see if anyone else had anything they wanted to do while prison yelling was going on.
I'm digging out the dress that Crook Hazel got me when we went to Arnica for the first time.
Aww.
Gray kind of wanted to talk to Lillian for a hot second.
We can make that happen. I'll put that on the order of operations. Abigail, anything for you? And Nettle?
Nettle will also be playing dress up with with Kat.
All right, you two are having fun playing. Look, they're bonding. Aww. Roz, do you have anything you want to do during all of this?
Roz would want to pregame.
All right, Roz is pre-gaming. Do you want to pre-game with like the dress-up crew?
I think she could. She's just had the one glass of wine. That was just, like a pre-death talk sort of thing. But now it's almost festival time and it's much cheaper to have champagne back at the old tower. So yeah, she'll be doing that. She'll be having some bubbly and helping critique the dresses and or suits.
And during this is when Sophia and Petra bust in. They got like a big pitcher filled with like orange juice, and they're like, "Guess who's got mimosas?"
Well, I'm hoping that it's me because I took your champagne. You're going to be real out of luck if you just got the orange juice.
Oh no, we got like 5 bottles of champagne. Like someone's pushing a cart in of all this like booze.
Taxpayer money. Well spent. Let's do it.
So, Gray, you go to seek out Lillian. Lillian's kind of like chilling in the garden by a pond. She's kind of like, she's found a squirrel that she's like petting. Somehow she's charmed the pants off this squirrel, and it's like, she's like petting the squirrel and be like, there now, Mr. Fluffy Tail.
Ms. Lillian.
Oh, hi. Mr. Gray, right?
Just Gray. You can just call me Gray. I just wanted to have a quick word with you. We have spoken literally 0 times since we have met.
Yes,
and,
yes.
I have actually spoken to Corvus more than I have spoken to you since we met. That was actually why I'm here. I've spoken to Corvus. He is not here, but he is elsewhere on Tuesdays, start of every month. He spoke to me at his funeral.
That's kind of odd. Usually the dead person doesn't talk.
I told him it was tacky, and, you can't tell him anything, really.
Well, to be fair, we did have our religious differences, so maybe this is just how his culture does it.
I just think he doesn't get social cues.
Oh, neither do I. And she just kind of looks like smiling at you. Neither do I.
I feel like we're a little bit more in tune than we might think. Anyhow, Corvus did say for me to tell you that nothing that happened with Branson and his little shop of horrors was really your fault. So he really wants you not to have any deep-seated guilt or anything when it comes to his ultimate fate.
And as you're like saying this and kind of thinking, and you look up, there's like tears already streaming down Lillian's eyes. She's like,
"No,
serious? What? Oh, but he came back for me. How could he say that?"
Gray kind of like looks for a tissue or something, reaches into his hood, pulls out Nez, and hands Nez to Lillian to comfort her and or wipe her tears.
He's cute.
This is Nez. He would really like it if you stopped crying.
Is he an emotional support rat?
He is so much more, but yes, also this.
Corvus and I had one when we were in the lab together.
Very well. Anyway,
yeah, then they took her away because she became a mama rat.
Oh. Was it what kind of rat was this? Was it a regular rat, or was it perhaps a rat with scales and kind of a dragon?
It's kind of a weird rat, yeah.
I'll take that under consideration.
Anyway, I'm sorry, you were saying
just in general, Corvus didn't want you to feel like it was your fault. Yes, he came back for you, but that wasn't something he needed to do. It was something he wanted to do, and there were no regrets. Maybe he regretted breaking my arms, but that's a different point. Still, he didn't regret anything that happened between you and he, whatever that may have been. And the fact that you are continuing along whatever path you currently stand upon. Gray is in no way like making eye contact with her. He's just kind of like darting his eyes around. That is where you should be, and he's happy that you are in fact there and not where you were in that weird cylindrical thing with the water and such. Oh, did we lose?
Oh no, we lost our Alex for a sec.
Oh geez,
that was weird.
So sorry.
We probably just did a real big screen shuffle.
Was it the
I'm the game master now.
was it the unmitigated power of my acting?
Everybody wins.
That's not how
It
this
is
works.
good.
Wait, this is not how this works.
I'm still
It is.
still a warlock. I am now Rosalind. I am the same.
Yes, you are the same. Gray and Roz are the same.
The same character. Same thing. Same color.
Practically unidentifiable from each other.
What was the do you need me to repeat anything, Alex? Or
Oh no, did he freeze again?
oh, he's got that frozen.
Quick, get
Oh,
it!
it's old school. Cap him. Cap him.
Got it!
Cap his ass. Go, Ryan, go.
For anyone who's unaware, this used
Look
to
at that
happen a lot.
pose.
This used to happen a lot, and we used to take screenshots of it because it was the best.
I don't like when
What's
you.
happening? We're on the same network. He's
I don't
plugged in. I'm not.
It is he who is cursed.
It is he.
I just checked. I'm not even plugged into the Ethernet. I'm on Wi-Fi.
Oh
Look at
no.
that. Look at that smile that mischievous granny has going on there. Oh, he's back.
He's back.
Yay!
He's also muted.
Sorry about that.
Alex, what Wi-Fi network are you on?
I'm on your. I'm wired. What the fuck, dude?
It was too emotional a scene.
Honestly,
It's
I
too
went.
intense.
Honestly, I went and checked a bunch of stuff, and it's like Microsoft Office is like, hey, remember that cloud thing you deleted? We're gonna try and upload stuff to that app that you took off your computer. And I'm like, thanks, Microsoft. Also, then and NVIDIA was like, hey, you got a driver update right now. And I'm like, how about no?
Can you not?
Yeah, so sorry about that, everyone. Where were we? I was a sad Lillian with an emotional support rat.
Right. What was the last thing you remember me saying?
You started talking, and that's when I lost you.
I've been talking for a while.
Give me the general gist.
Corvus did what he had to do. He's glad that Lillian is okay and not in Branson's horror shop anymore.
Okay, perfect. Okay, that's what I figured it was. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page. Context clues are great. Anyway, so Lillian just kind of tears up again. She's like, it's just to think he still, he cared. And Kat and all of you cared so much. And she just hugs you. She pulls you in for a hug. She's like,
That's not a thing that I was expecting.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome. My rat needs to breathe.
Oh, sorry. And she pulls the rat out and holds him above you two as she's hugging you. I'm sorry. Remember, no social grace. I'm sorry. When you grow up inside that shop of horrors you were talking about, you don't.
To be honest, I find it admirable that you have learned to do anything except scream. So, good on you.
Yes, and you're very kind. And despite the fact that we haven't really talked much, I appreciate. This was a nice chat. And she's like trying to wipe tears away as she's handing Nez back to you.
Yeah, he'll just snap Nez out and then snap him back onto his shoulder. Yes, so Corvus basically doesn't want you to cry. Please stop crying. Cry over him anymore. You may still feel sorrow. That is allowed, I believe. That was one of the things he said that was allowed.
Yeah.
He wants you to live your best life and do things that make you happy.
You're right. He would want that, and I'd want the same for him, and I want the same for Kat and for all of you.
Yes, Kat will always live her best life and never do anything that was not in her best interest.
I wish I was a badass like Kat. Kat, Kat's a badass. She's always been the badass sister. I've always been the nerdy one. It's just
Sure. Well,
I'm sorry, I'm sharing way too much with someone I don't know. Do you want to tell me about your siblings if you have any?
I don't, but there is a festival, I believe, going on. Your sister and our resident Duke are doing, I believe, dressy things and boozy things I don't know if that's a thing you'd be interested in, but they're doing
I've
that.
never tried this alcohol thing before.
Well, go have some, I guess.
Okay. You want to join?
No,
You got such a nice coat, though.
I
You should
do.
show off that coat.
I don't want to spill whatever alcohol they have on it, but
Look.
thank you.
So just go flaunt that new coat at the festival. And you, sir, thank you so much. I feel lighter. This is probably the lightest I've felt since getting here.
Well, perhaps you should eat something. Put on some weight.
Okay, you don't. It's rude to comment on other people's. Never mind. Oh yes, no social grace. But for future reference, don't comment about people's stuff.
I mean, you brought it up in the first place. Anyway,
No,
I'm going to
emotionally light. You big goof.
I definitely chose to have this conversation. I'm losing it. I need to go eat. Yes,
Oh.
that is what I need to do.
Yeah, I heard one of the librarians was telling me, and she just starts, as you're walking towards she just starts taking you towards the fashion show anyway, because she just is so excited to have someone to just be friends with.
Okay, so
And you would notice this, like you get
Right.
this feeling, like she just is trying so hard to make friends right now.
as they get to the door, Gray will kind of like do that thing where he kind of like knocks, but is still opening at the same time. He's going to lean in. Cat.
Yeah.
Help.
Oh, what?
And, like,
Oh,
probably
Lillian just walks in. Cat, I was wondering when I'd see you today. You didn't.
he's gone.
So the fashion show still occurs. There is much booze and there is much fashion to be had. We return to Mouse and Krukazel having that very serious chat after seeing that.
We
Good
might need a
luck.
minute, Alex.
I'm so mean sometimes.
Are you okay?
Are you?
I think
Hello,
they broke themselves with
it's me.
screenshots.
Serious Krukazel.
Serious? Wait, screenshots. Where are
Wait,
these?
yeah, we were not
What? I
laughing
mean
at that
nothing.
scene. Sorry, we were laughing at the Discord. Oh no! Yes.
Oh, no!
Oh,
No! No! I should have known. Should have known.
Man, I was sitting
God
here
damn
going
it.
like, wow, this scene's funnier than I thought it was.
Right? I'm over here like, I guess it's funny, sure. Meanwhile, they're just taking screenshots of whenever my camera freezes up. Rude.
I mean, it's pretty in character for us.
I guess it actually is a good callback to season 1 back when we had really.
That's a callback. That's what we're
I feel
doing.
left out. I'm the only one that didn't post a screenshot.
I'm
I
so
didn't either. I've just been laughing.
I'm so glad I could be the source of everyone's entertainment tonight.
Like it's been a tense evening of roleplay.
Okay. Stabilize internet.
Okay.
Damn it.
Mouse, are you doing okay after all of that?
Yeah, I will be okay. I'm just, I don't know. It was foolish of me to expect anything else, I guess.
Well, worst comes to worst, I can still break him out on the way to the trial if you want.
That's as kind of you, but I don't think he is going to change.
Well, before you were with us, we went to the town of Verdrid, and we were attacked by. Were they biomancer agents? They weren't agents. They were like working with them, though,
They
right?
were hired mercenaries.
Yeah. Well, we were attacked by people working for the biomancers, and we frankly did kill most of them. But there was one that I decided that to try to let live, and I just checked in with him, and he seems to be living an honest life now. So I think there is hope in shaking whatever control the biomancers have over their hirelings.
Well, I will hope so. I will try not to get those hopes up again. Thank you for coming with me.
Yeah, sure, of course.
I've never really been able to stand up to Jade when he says, when he gets his mind set to something. But it was nice to have a friend there for once, so thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy to help.
You have helped, I think, all of us a lot, Crew Hazel, and it means a lot.
Kirk Hazel is like normally very accepting of praise, but in this moment he's having a little trouble accepting like thank yous, and he just yeah of course, so definitely.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I think it's just it's time to move on to something else. I think that the info that we gathered from Branson and all signs are pointing away from biomancers in my head.
But for you, do you have something in mind? I know that you wanted to go back home. Is that where you want to go next?
I really want to go home. Yes, I feel... I never really thought I would say that. I also think that... I know this may be harsh to hear, and out of everyone in the group besides yourself, it seems that I'm the most on the Jade redemption train, but I do feel that we're wasting time. We're wasting time talking to Branson because he's already dead. He can't do anything. We're wasting time talking about what to do with Jade when I could have just broken him out in seconds. And we could be on the way to Dragon... Or I could, rather. I don't need everyone, but... I could have been on the way to helping my sister.
If you want to go, I cannot speak for the others, but I would want to go with you. We could leave, now. Sophia and people could probably escort Jade to Ren's Run. I guess I would have to testify, but...
No, we need to see that through. And there was also that monastery that we had talked about. We can save it for the rest of the group, but I've been restless the past week or so, and it seems to be all coming to a head from there.
From that monastery?
Yes.
Well, I think that was, somewhere but northwards of here, of Run's Run, so, maybe we can go there right afterwards.
I'll have to take your word for it. Even though I'm a druid, I'm terrible with directions.
Oh, I could be totally wrong. I have been, kind of mitigating a lot.
I'm glad we're always the ones scouting the path ahead for the rest.
Oh, yeah, that is, now that I think about it, that is pretty silly.
Should we tell them? No, let's not tell them.
Oh, they should know by now.
They'll just be worried for no reason. It's okay.
Hey, so, just before, we go to the festival and stuff, not to like totally change the subject or anything, but, and I'm like thinking sort of like as we're like still walking back down the tower, maybe we're like walking past the room where like everybody is like hanging out and like drinking. And
Works for me.
I like hear people like Petra laughing in the other room, and I'm like, so the other day you were like, you had said maybe if I wanted some like advice or something about people, maybe you could give me some. And Mouse is like progressively blushing more and more as they start adding that.
Yeah, sure. I think I know where you're coming from, and I will not pretend to know who, and I'll just kind of glance over to the other room of like a ton of people. But the advice remains the same.
Yeah, I mean, that's, just whenever you have a chance, just like, I have not really, I don't know, had much interest before, or anybody ever interested in me, and I mean, how can you tell if somebody actually cares, or if it's just like some sort of a prank or a joke or something, and like, what do you do if you want to like return an interest or something? And I don't know about that, so if you know, this will just sort of keep going for a bit.
That's a very cruel prank to pull on someone. Well,
Kids can be really mean.
that they can. Well, anyways, I think that it's important to be you, but everyone will tell you that. It's also important to understand them, whoever this may be. And lastly, you can't go wrong with a good gift.
So like, what would be a good gift, so that somebody knows? Because I mean,
do I have the do I have the privilege to know who this is about, so I can help with the gift, or would you like it to just be blunt?
Well, I mean, I suppose, like, hypothetically, if it was somebody, I don't know, maybe they like animals or something and things like that.
Well, I'm flattered. Just kidding. Well, I think animals would be a great way to go. Perhaps a small pet, if they already perhaps have a stable or something. If they already have room for something of that manner.
Okay, I will think about that.
Maybe have a conversation with this individual. Maybe ask what kind of animals they like. Maybe a pet they've never gotten to keep that they really wanted. And me and you will go find one.
Oh,
Ooh.
that could be good, yeah. I know she said she had a pet before. Oh, I mean, I know this person said that they had a pet once before.
Mouse, I figured it out. I know who it is.
Oh, okay.
And that's when Sophia's head pokes out and she's like, "Get in here! The party's only getting started."
Oh, yeah, I will be right there. I have to go just get ready real quick a little bit. I will be right back.
Rosalind, you are now approaching the point when you'd be meeting with Sir Gregor for your rendezvous.
Yeah, if I notice that it's the sun starting to sink closer to its zenith, I'll drain the last of my drink. Wait, my mouth. You guys okay over there? She will call to Mouse and Castle.
Yep, we're just talking nerdy nature stuff.
Nerdy nature stuff.
I'll return the stare.
And
Okay.
Mouse and Crucazel, before you can say anything else, drinks are in your hands.
Oh.
Here's to you, everyone. And I will not drink it.
I
Mouse
will
just holds it.
Oh, look, are you guys aren't going to let that go to waste, are you? I will say, as I'm like getting up close to you to leave, putting my cloak on.
Rosalind, are you drunk?
No.
Alright, here, take mine.
Mouse.
I don't really drink, so I mean, if you want, but...
Alright, thank you. Alright,
okay.
I'll see you guys at the fair. Have a good time.
Please take a taxi.
Bye.
What's a taxi?
And that's like you turn back and Petra's lighting something up. And it's a good time. Nettle is drinking apple juice. So Rosalind, you
Like
had
with a little seltzer, if you know what I mean.
Ooh.
Fancy. Rosalind.
I'm gonna retreat to my room and hit the behemoth toad or whatever it's called. Frog behemoth.
Oh, the Brekik.
Thank you. The bracket quick.
This festival got real.
This festival. So Rosalind, you head to the gardens outside. And Sir Gregor's already waiting for you. And he's got a flower in his hand.
Gregor, is that for me?
Yes, it is. And he's finely dressed for the occasion.
Well, I have something in trade. She holds out.
Oh, I guess it's a good way to begin a date, is a little drinking in the garden. At least,
Yes.
just a little drinking is. It's fine. Some things are happening upstairs in the dressing room. It's
Oh, did Sophia get you pre-gaming again?
Yes, Sophia got me pre-gaming. It is. How could you say no to that woman? She's so persuasive.
She is very persuasive. Very. She always gets her way somehow. Somehow.
Probably because she's just fucking amazing. Whatever happened with you two?
Oh, I think it's kind of like I said. When you're a noble person, you have to worry about who you associate with, and as the relationships between our families deteriorated, we were not able to see each other for political reasons, so we just kind of called it off to not start any conflict.
Well, just because you can't officially see each other doesn't mean, there are other ways of seeing a person.
Unfortunately, that would put too many people at risk, and, well, now we've...
Gregor, she's not in a royal position of power anymore.
Yes, it's just that spark that was there is gone now, and quite frankly, and he holds up the flower, I've found someone else.
Okay. Well, if the spark is gone, then the spark is gone. I don't want you being unhappy for political reasons when there's no need for it.
No, of course not. But I mean, I'm happy not for political reasons right now with you. So, and plus, she's found herself. She's in a good place now. None of us are in any position to really mess with that.
No, I would not want to mess with another person's good place.
Yes. Anyway, she's fun though. When it's mimosa time, it's fun.
I am concerned that Nettle might be adopting her.
Yes, Nettle, you'd think would be the mentor that trained her and, knighted her that she'd look up to, but no, it's Sophia.
She looks up to you, but it's in a different way. You are in a position of authority, whereas Sophia is more like a role model that she would like to be.
True, and I do have to give her credit. Her circumstances, she's definitely had more opposition than I have had during her time.
Well, I can't fault you for being just, gifted and blessed.
Yeah, it helps when my parents actually cared about me.
Yes.
When I got to know Sophia, I really got to understand just how messed up that Gedrin family is.
Right? How are you supposed to be like a role model for overcoming adversity when, you come from perfect circumstances and you're just... It's tough. This is all I'm saying.
Yes. Speaking of families, you really haven't told me much about, yourself.
About myself or my
partners. Family? Just a little bit about yourself. And he kind of you begin walking towards the firefly and lantern lit, this nice little tent market walk that you're beginning to walk through.
Well, she'll put the flower in her hair and then link her arm with his. Well, I am an open book, but I don't, not one of those audio ones. You have to actually try to read it. I won't read myself to you. So what do you want to know?
Oh, first of all, I have no idea where you come from.
Oh.
I just want to know more about you,
Yeah, it's, where I come from is not the most pleasant place. It's, out in the Vale.
Oh, as in Duskwind Vale?
Yes.
Oh. Well, you're probably, I don't judge you for being from Duskwind Vale, but from my understanding, it must have been very rough for you. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have prodded.
No, it's okay. You're not really prodding. Asking where someone is from is not a really deep question, I would think.
Yes, but most people who've been from Duskwind Vale don't like to talk about being from Duskwind Vale, is my understanding.
Yeah, it's not a very pleasant place. But I'm not there now. It's one of those things. It's like an adversity that you overcome.
Yes.
And it made me part of the wonderful person I am today.
Indeed, and speaking of inspiring, you are quite inspiring yourself. Hence the cult jokes from earlier.
Yes, I don't know about that.
I've dealt with a few cults in my time, like I said, so if you ever have any questions, feel free to ask.
Oh, did you like put them down, or what do
Yes.
you?
Okay, this is gonna be a lot, and he kind of turns to like they got like open bars all over, or it's like just like a 2x4 set between two barrels, and there's just people like serving just cups of drinks and beers. Okay, well, I guess it's my turn to share an adversity, I suppose.
Yes.
So my brother Victor, I love him, my older brother, the one who's going to inherit the whole domain of Thunderbluff and be the spokesperson for our domain in High God. Anyway, he's not, how do I word this nicely? He's not the warrior or the statesman or really anything really. He's just really good at being pretty and making the family look good. Anyway, so we had a cult we had to deal with that was devoted to the Brothers 3, and they tried to summon a demon into our realm. Thank the gods I had my comrades beside me. I'll never forget the things I heard and saw. And he just kind of like gets the distant stare.
The 1,000-yard.
Yeah.
Roz doesn't seem to notice or mind. One of the two, maybe both. Oh yes, I've heard that demon summoning can involve a lot of sacrifice. So I imagine there would be some bad things.
Kind of gives you a look because you're Dreadkin, and he's well aware of that. And he's like, do you not understand how summoning demons into the material world works?
Of course I do. Do you?
Well, yes, I dealt with a cult that devoted to the Brothers 3. Of course I do.
Well, then prove it. Tell me about it, and I'll see you.
Well, it's kind of takes some sacrifices, yes, but you also need a host. They become a larva, and then the demon possesses them and transforms them into their... Yeah, I had to... Oh, God. And he's just reliving this horrible experience.
I mean, we did the exact same thing. I don't remember exactly who was possessed. Gray, maybe? Nettle beat the crap out of me once. Was it her? That day was a blur. It was like a sky ship that moved on its own and was powered by nightmares. Yeah.
I mean, the dread cults do work in very nightmarish ways.
Was it a dread cult though? I feel like I put that in my journal, but that journal was my old one, and when I upgraded, that one didn't get migrated, so I don't have those notes readily available to look it up. I'd have to do some digging.
That's okay. Cults, floating ship, airships are rather new technology, but you've gone on some quite grand adventures. I'm sorry for getting a little... that was a rather unpleasant...
Well, this is the area that I'm researching right now. It's kind of the life I'm dealing with. There's a bad cult shit going down.
Where exactly?
Well, back in there's like a monastery with...
Oh, you mean Titan's Rest?
That sounds right.
We don't go to that cursed place. No one does.
Oh, well, it looks like I'm about to, so I guess I'm a nobody.
Rosalind, what do you... you know what? If anyone is going to go to the Titan's Rest, it's you and your friends. Of course you would. And he's just kind of like finding it humorous that you're going to like this super dangerous place.
Look, you got to save the world sometimes.
Yes, I just prefer seeing the not so nasty side of the world.
The nasty side of the world is coming. Someone has to look at it. It's kind of like going to a doctor, the wound's there.
Wait.
Even if it's embarrassing, you got to let somebody see it, or else it's never going to get better.
You said Titan's Rest, because
Pretty sure you said Titan's Rest actually, but I agree with you.
yes. Oh, you're dealing with one of those. I've never dealt with those cults, my dear. No.
Well, I don't know a whole lot of information, and when I try to find out, people get all in a tizzy about like forbidden knowledge and shit. So
There's not a whole lot of information out there about them. I've been trying to acquire more materials to defend my reach from such threats, but my search has been fruitless.
oh shit. Well, if your search has been fruitless, like you actually have a name and power, and I got nothing. Then maybe that can come with my favor. Maybe there's
But-
some underground knowledge.
Maybe that monastery holds the answers you're looking for.
Or death. Or both.
Yeah. If anyone will pull through and he holds up his mug, it's definitely you, because you are inspiring, Rosalind.
Well, thank you. I wouldn't say that I'm like chasing immortality or anything, but I think I could pull through.
Yes, if I had to join a cult, it'd be yours. And he's trying to like add some levity to the situation.
You keep bringing up me starting a cult here. Do you want me to
No,
be
it's,
your religious figure?
well, I mean, no, it's just,
You paused. That wasn't an outright no. You had to
Just-
think about it.
I think some people could use a little more. Sometimes things bring communities together, and he's trying to like think of like the merits of religion, and he's trying to have this really deep philosophical conversation with you, and it's just
Well,
as he
hold on.
fumble-
Are you wanting me to start a cult or a religion? Because I feel like they're very different.
And before we have him answer the question of you starting a cult, we go back to the fashion show. So it's like festival time, everyone. You can go do festival things, whatever you want to do, and hang out, whoever you want to hang out with.
All right, so Sophia and I, we worked for this on like 2 hours. Okay, we worked for it on an hour and a half plus half-hour snack. Okay, actually, we also got something to drink. Okay, so we worked on it for at least an hour, and I think we figured out our route for all the samples.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt, Nettle. Is Petra still here?
Yeah, Petra's still there.
Yeah, of course.
I completely forgot. The other day when I ran out of the stable so quickly, I left my notebook there.
Oh, you want to go get it? We can go get it.
Well, I actually have this important thing going on. Mouse, could you
Oh.
maybe take care of this for me? I know that you said that you wanted to do me a favor. I think this would be a great time to cash in. I'm really busy. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on,
Oh, I
Miles.
can do that.
It won't be a thing. Come on, Miles. It'll take us like 5 minutes.
No, Nettle, you need to. Your people
Are you
need you
sure?
to snack. Yes.
I'm really fast.
Nettle, darling, you are needed here at the castle. My darling dear, you are needed here at the castle.
I do not
Okay.
mind.
No,
It'd be
I
good to
will
get
stay
fresh air.
here.
Oh, thank you so much, Mouse. This is so kind.
No problem.
So
I'll
you-
like kind of pat them on the shoulder. Ask about the animals.
And it's probably like Sophia looks over, like heard you totally say, ask them about the animals.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming with me to look for Krukazel's notebook, Petra.
Oh yeah, ain't nothing but a thing. Come on. So I'm telling you something, Green Bean. I'll let you pet some of the puppies. Like we can make a puppy detour.
Oh, well, I mean, would be pretty nice.
And she's obviously trying to like add a flex in there when there doesn't need to be one.
Oh my. One whole life.
Oh, the notebook is that way.
Okay, thank you. So, are these puppies, were they born since the last time we were here, or
Oh
is this
yeah.
the same litter?
Different litter. Don't worry, hon. It's a different litter.
Oh no, I was, just curious. I guess, are animal dogs your favorite animal?
I do like a good puppy, but I do miss the wyverns that Sophia had here. They were
Oh.
quite a hoot, but after they killed Buttercup the first, we kind of had to let them go.
That must have been difficult. I have never actually, seen a wyvern myself.
Oh,
But
they're just big old pushovers, squawky, and they just kind of and they can't breathe fire. They ain't nothing.
wait, they cannot. Okay, well, that's, it's good. Well, I mean, Petra, I don't know, where you are from originally. Is there like a pet that you grew up with or something? Just, I'm curious. I have only seen the animals in the Empire, so.
Oh, so you see, there is. I would love to get my hands on a Dracobee, just a little fey dragon creature. They are so cute. I used to see them all the time when I'd go visit my grandma on Dragon Sand.
Oh, you went to are you from Dragon Sand or is that?
Oh no. My papa is, and he's from Dragon Sand, and that's where my grandma is. So we go on some vacations to Dragon Sand once in a while. We come back with some draconic creatures. Really help the stable business.
Oh, like Dracobee sounds absolutely adorable. Are they hard to take care of?
Well, of course, but ain't nothing for Petra Ponyhosen.
Oh no, I'm sure you're quite capable and clearly very skilled with caring for the animals.
Well, yes, and you are quite skilled with the bow, if I do understand correctly.
Oh, well, Danka, it is kind to say. I try my best.
And I am loving that new jacket. You are slaying in it, friend. Slaying.
Oh, Danka, and Mouse blushes, and it's like, well, it is very nice. It is nice to have the shorter coats than the very long one. It is much less in the way.
Smash cut back to the fashion show, and Sophia's like looking at all the rest of them. So you think they're finally gonna, get together or no on this one?
I don't know what you're talking about.
romance.
That was a big pile
That
of.
was perfect.
And what's Gray been up to? As
Gray
festival
is
time
actually
going up.
Gray is coming back because he wants to talk to KK.
Ooh, little crew counseling. Okay, go ahead. So you can pull. Do you want to like join the party, or are you gonna pull Crew Hazel?
Oh, he definitely does not want to join the party.
All right, Crew Hazel, you are being pulled out of the party by Gray.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry to interrupt whatever you were doing with whatever they're doing.
I'm not doing much.
I had a question for you.
Sure.
I wanted a little bit of advice from you. You seem to know how people interact, and
Oh boy. Fuck.
you,
That was me, not KK.
I thought perhaps you might be able to give me a little advice on growing up. Interest in someone was not something that really was in my purview. It was more survival than anything else. I just don't know how to show someone that there is an interest. Maybe make sure that it's not, show them that it's serious and that it's not some sort of strange, like joke or something like that.
Sure, I think that you're... Normally I would recommend gifts, but if I'm pretty good at reading people and I'm pretty observant, and I believe gifts have already been given, so...
Yes, I did the gift thing.
Sure. Well, I really got myself into a situation. Again, that was Chris. I think it's really important to... One thing I really enjoy in conversation is that when people ask me a question, I answer, and then I give them somewhere to go with the conversation.
Right.
And perhaps if you steer these questions in a direction of intimacy, not, physical, but emotional intimacy. If Rosalind was here, she would have jumped all over that. That's a hilarious thing, a hilarious slip of the tongue, so I just had to clarify. Emotional intimacy, maybe get to know them on a deeper level, besides, the surface level. Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Yes, I'm just frightfully new at this sort of thing. I'm frightfully new at most things, really. I know that things are exchanged between some people who you care about, but there was not really anything beyond that.
Sure. Well, I think maybe it might take a while as well. There's, I've had multiple people I've cared about in that way in my life and back home, and they don't all end the best because sometimes you rush into things. So I think taking your time and really getting to know the person and what they truly like and dislike, and you can go from there.
Well, they're fairly religious.
Good.
They like the outdoors.
All right.
Um,
All right. Well, you've already done this work. Then the next step is engaging them on whatever term that is. So maybe you try to understand nature a little bit and take them outdoors, or I don't want to push religion on anyone because I have like 3 myself and it gets a little cloudy, but maybe you just take an interest, maybe you study about it, maybe you understand the facts related with it if you're not willing to convert right away, of course. That seems a bit extreme.
yes, perhaps so. I just so very unsure about most things. And it's, obviously, I'm not in a rush for anything, but I barely know what I'm doing with most things. Have I said this? I feel like I've said this.
So as you're talking, you see 2 short figures kind of approaching the room with a guard by them. One of them is this blue-skinned cyclopean gnome, and the other figure is this large metallic sentinel, this artificial automaton person, their eyes glowing a deep orange beneath the metal and wooden plate that makes up its body. And they're kind of like, oh, sorry to interrupt. My friend and I are here to speak with the Duke and one known as, and he looks at some scrawling on his arm, Christine?
I don't
know.
I don't know a Christine.
Who are you?
Oh, come on, mister. He means the person who overthrew the rock.
Get it? Oh.
I got it.
Come on.
They overthrew the what?
No, we'll never get to know.
It's
So
just a
full of
mystery.
secrets.
Who are you, Christine?
Who's Christine?
That's like the perfect cliffhanger too.
Just end of the episode.
You know who they mean. The
You
person
know the
who
one.
overthrew the dun.
You know who they mean? The people who got rid of the Rockefeller guy in Madrid. They overthrew everything and changed it all.
Oh, Crew Hazel? I don't. I
Her
didn't
name
do
was
it alone.
Christine. Fiery redhead, murderous streak.
Katerina.
That was the name I went through when I was pretending to be a union rep.
Oh, Christine. Yes, she's in the other room.
Thank you. And so the door opens. The guard steps in. Nettle and my understanding is Cat. These 2 are here to see you, and you see the little shabbily dressed cyclopean gnome and the large metal man.
Who disturbs our snacking plans?
Oh, well, I am Juggernaut 7, and this is my compatriot.
Hello, compatriot. Nice to meet you.
Yes,
Juggernaut 7, pleasant to meet you.
Yes, thank you, Juggernaut 7. I do have a name. The name is Patrick. How goes it, my friends?
It is going
I was
Really
hoping
well.
right.
I was hoping to have a word with both you and you. And he points at Nettle and Cat.
Hello.
Certainly.
In private, please.
Oh,
Okay.
why? I don't want to go in private nowhere.
Do we just tell them?
Look.
I mean, everybody in this room is trustworthy.
Everybody in this room is on our team.
We lost him again.
Jeez. Get it, hurry.
Hike, you remember that time in
Such
episode
a
like
dramatic pause.
Oh my god. Okay, what the heck?
I completely forgot about the time I pretended to be a union rep.
That's amazing. This was pre-mouse days.
It was like more than a year ago at this point.
I forgot about that. Anyway, you were going to say, Alex, you're just going to tell us.
He's frozen.
Oh
he
no!
froze again.
He's in slow-mo.
Okay.
So dramatic.
Yeah.
Wait, is he back?
No, I think I know. It's
You might be back, because I
I
think you're
can
back
hear you.
now.
what is the point of wiring my connection?
I'm waiting
You're
for it
here.
to stop any second.
Alex, you're here.
Yeah, you're here.
Am I here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh jeez. So well, I, Patrick, and Juggernaut 7 are. Am I still here? 'Cause
Yes, we can
everyone's,
hear
like,
you.
Really
Yes.
choppy. Okay.
Continue.
We're waiting with bated breath.
We're representatives from the League of Liberation.
Oh.
And we heard about your work in Madrid, and our leader, Moses too, has determined that seeking your help in, well, revolution is a great idea.
Oh.
What revolution would that be?
So I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're the Empire of Kovith. We fight for equal rights for all people of the Empire and to liberate the lands that they have conquered. And we've sought you out because you are highly skilled individuals at espionage, subterfuge, and tactics.
Mm-hmm. Highly
Are
skilled.
we?
That's us.
I think I have to ask my boss.
Aren't you your own boss? You're a duke.
Yeah, I gotta go home.
Dukes have bosses, I've learned.
She means the council and fellow government representatives who all have a say in what happens.
Yeah,
Here.
I have responsibilities now. It's really boring.
Oh.
Listen, personally, I'd love to help with your revolution. Can't do that right now. However, if you give me some contact information, I will get back to you.
Okay, well, so right now, and he looks around. All right. Well, Moses, and we got a base over in Weidenhaven. When you get to Weidenhaven, go to the, what was it again, Juggernaut 7. You gotta go to the Willow's Rest Inn, and then ask for Boris.
Ask for Boris at the Willow's Rest Inn.
Yes. And that was Weidenhaven, if you didn't.
In Weidenhaven. Okay. It is technically treason to be talking about this here, so
Yes, I cannot be involved with a conspiracy of any kind.
But we're not a
It is-
conspiracy, Your Majesty. And he gives like a dignified bow. We are freedom fighters, fighting for the liberty of provinces that deserve to govern themselves, and we're not asked to be governed by a tyrannical, theocratic
break it to you.
empire.
you're
I mean,
only
I-
freedom fighters if you win.
Oh yeah.
Well,
What happens if we lose?
Then you're terrorists.
Oh.
oh shit. Is that why we saw it? Yes, there was that one paper that called us terrorists.
Nettle, maybe take like a step to the side so you don't hear this next bit.
Look, us gnomes, we just want the gnomes and the sentinels and a lot of us have gotten together because, quite frankly, the Empire fucking sucks.
Okay, I agree with you. I agree with every word you're saying. Not a fan of the Empire personally, and I know some people who would be on the same boat as I am. However, we have some personal matters that must be taken care of before we can join any sort of revolution, and we are currently government employees. not of the Empire, but of allies of the Empire, technically.
But I thought you were a union rep.
Career change.
You
However,
crossed the line.
Well, I'm all for revolution actually at this moment.
We're trying to infiltrate them from the inside,
Yeah.
Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
The inside, you say?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're getting it.
I ain't cover my ears yet.
It's difficult.
Hold on, Nettle.
Get on the inside when you're a gentle person.
Keep it. We're not. So we're working that angle at the moment. So we will definitely come look you up in Viter Haven at the Willow's Rest when we get the chance.
You stay on the outside, we'll stay on the inside. We'll work as this tandem team.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We'll meet somewhere in the middle.
And remember, super secret information. Tell no one.
Well, yeah, of course. It's the League of Liberation. Everything we do is secret.
Would you like to stay for the festival?
Yes, and then don't
Right.
we have that one supply train we have to...
Juggernaut, no, not right now.
Okay.
All right. Plans have been made. They leave to go enjoy the festival.
I'm gonna real quick.
Cover
Oh,
my ears
Yes.
now.
yes, Nettle.
You're good, Nettle.
I'm gonna real quick sit down next to Kat, just like exhausted, just tired as hell, and be like, Kat, you don't have a crush on anyone, do you?
No, I currently have a revolution
All right.
to be part of.
You're my new favorite, Kat. You're my new favorite. That I'm
Okay.
just gonna kind of like, do one of these.
Are you doing okay, Hazel? You seem
I'm like, so you know, like a love triangle, right? You're familiar with the concept?
yeah, sort of. Yeah.
So like,
yeah,
I'm in the
typical.
center of that.
We are involved in it.
No.
or
I'm like right here. If this was the triangle,
You're
A whole
being the
different
advisor.
triangle.
yes.
Okay.
To all
That
of them,
seems
not just
tiring.
one. Yes.
Ooh. Oh no, that does seem. Yeah, I'm very sorry. I'm bad with people, so
Oh, please don't ask for advice.
I mean,
And that's when we pan back to Roz and Gregor's date, and they're having a wonderful time because they both actually understand social grace and people. And the Sir Gregor has at this point he has purchased Roz a wonderful pendant to wear at her leisure from one of the many artisans.
Gregor, you're being so sweet. And she'll go ahead and put it on. What's it look like?
It's really beautiful. It's like made out of this stone that's dark, but there's like little like shiny bits in it, and it looks like it's the night sky kind of, because you know Gregor's very much astral star. He's very into that. He's got like an innate draw to it almost. I thought something that's lovely belongs on someone whose beauty is, you know, going to make it look good.
As beauty as you know. Gregor, I already like you. You don't have to keep trying so hard to make me like you.
I know. It's just, you know, we spent a lot of time away from each other. Just wanted to make sure, you know. You remember how I said the whole spark fading thing? I just don't want that to happen. Well, you know, we're off doing our respective responsibilities. You looking after your kind of children, I suppose, and me looking after the domain of Thunder's Reach.
Hazel's like 500 years old.
Oh, thank God he's there to help you out.
I'm 29.
You know, have you ever gone to him for dating advice? Fantastic fellow for those things.
Let me pause right there. Gregor, do you think that I need dating advice?
Oh no, I was just making a meta joke for the audience.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to be clear there. I think that I'm fairly good about communicating when I need to. I don't have too much fear of embarrassment or shame. So if I have an issue, I can just bring it up.
How do you do it? How are you just never embarrassed? Never ashamed? Do you not care what people think? Like, I just wanted, like, I wish I could be like that.
You could say that I don't really care too much about that. It is very hard to stir my emotions. How about that? We'll phrase it that way.
Okay. Oh,
It's
I found
if you were going to put it into words, you would just say, "I don't sweat the small stuff." There's no point to it.
Hmm.
What people think about me is a small stuff. I do not care. Now, if they want to stab me, that's an issue.
Yeah,
no.
That's a different.
Yes, they can want to, but they can't try. If they're going to try to stab me, that I guess again, that's loss of how they feel. They
Speaking
can feel
of
like stabbing me
cats,
all they want.
Speaking of stabbing, your friend Kat, she's not gonna like try and kill me or anything. Like she knows we're all good. Like I'm not like stealing your company from her.
Are you all good?
Yeah, I'm good. She's
Okay, so-
intimidating.
Well, yes, because she is quite murderous, but there's a reason for it. It's people who. I don't want to say commit genocide because that's a strong word, and she's definitely killed people for less.
Oh, well, I mean, there was that whole mission thing you mentioned before.
Which one?
The one that she was on, the sense of purpose that was going to get you all killed.
Cat is very mission focused, so you got to be more specific. They're all very
Yes.
dangerous, and there are so many. She is very quick to draw a blade, but it is against people who are a threat of some sort, if not to her directly, then to something that she cares about. So,
And then I guess she's looking out for you.
if she's coming after you and you're doing
No,
something
not
to
me.
harm
I
me,
just
yes.
I just meant she's a really good friend. Like as you're going on these dangerous quests.
She's a very good person to have in your corner. Yes.
Yes. And then like a little fireworks start going off, like above like the spire. And we're in the perfect spot. And you're standing by like this nice little pond. There's little fireflies dancing about. It's like slice of life anime, perfect festival date scene.
We're having the good ending right now.
You're getting the good ending. I'll be nice.
Roz will just go ahead and where she had her arm looped around Gregor's before, she'll actually grab it and put it over her shoulder.
Ooh, and he'll pull you closer.
I'm surprised we didn't run into them. Nettle was working on a plan of attack for the food today.
Oh, I did see them. I saw that her and Sophia were dancing by the fountain, and I didn't want to interrupt that.
Oh Lord, was she in the fountain?
She was on her way in. And when I say she was on her way in, I mean Sophia.
Oh. See, okay. No, we don't need to go back to that. But
yes, let's not revisit. Nettle's got. Never mind.
It is not about past or business today, Gregor.
That's
I've
right.
had a really good time with you tonight.
Yes.
I
had a
will
wonderful time.
consider the cult.
Yes, and let me know if you need help with any of that cursed monastery stuff.
It is not something. Not that I'm not important, not that the rest of my friends aren't important, but you have a level of importance that is different from us, if that makes sense.
Yes.
I know you're capable of handling dangerous things. You're a very capable man. I would not drag you into this.
And I know you're very capable. I just offer my services out of me caring for you.
Well, any metaphorical doors that you could open so far as information on this would be incredibly helpful. I know you said that. Go ahead.
I'll talk to my librarian. You met him in Thunderbluff. He was that old turtle guy.
Yeah, was not very forthcoming with me, but maybe you would have more luck.
I'm the one who controls the budget. I think I'll be able to get a few more answers out of him.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't like to use my power, but if it means getting you answers that you need to survive the horrors of this monastery, I think saving a life is worth a little bit of power abuse.
Can I throw out there that using a power is not necessarily abusing a power?
This is fair. Oh, look at that one. And he points up to this really nice firework that's shaped like a dragon.
Oh, look, and now it's breathing fire. It's going out. That's very cool.
It's just
Really
Grukazel
sounds
flying by. Wait a minute.
And we cut to Sophia and Nettle. You're both kind of watching the fireworks. Sophia kind of hung out with you as the fireworks are going off. Yeah, and Petra and Mouse, you did return back, and you two could be doing whatever you wish you two to be doing. We're just starting to wind down here. I'm running out of time, unfortunately. Sophia's with Nettle, and you're watching the fireworks, and Sophia looks at Nettle, and, you know, I never did care much for the Empire.
Yeah,
Yeah, so,
that's good.
even though as your strategist, I tell you not to do it.
Yeah.
But as your battle sister, go kill those fuckers.
Thanks for hanging out with me today, Sophia.
Yes, of course. Are you okay?
Yeah, you didn't have to. I know I don't know.
My boss?
Well, I was gonna say a kid, but also that.
Oh, Nettle. You have been trained by perhaps one of the best knights I know. You've gone on far greater adventures than anyone I can ever think of. I respect you. You've done more with your life than I have in the 20-some years that I've been around.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel
Plus-
real little.
I know. And I know it's hard. It has to be difficult being so young and being thrust into a position of power like the way you were. You know, if you want, I can chew out Gregor for that.
No, I didn't feel lonely when I was out on an adventure, and now everyone else is doing their own thing, and I don't really know a whole lot of other people, and besides you, and I mean, I can hang out with you forever. You are literally the coolest person I've ever met in my entire life. But besides that, it's just, yeah, I don't really know anyone else outside the party, and they all have lives.
Yes. I know very well the way you feel. I sometimes feel more at home on the battlefield than I do kind of being into Spire with nothing to do. You and I are very similar, Nettle. We need to be doing things. We need to be out there, changing the world. I understand the way you feel. And because we're so busy, we don't have time to go and make friends outside of the friends we have.
And now there's all these rules on what I can and can't do, and I used to just do what was right. And now there's all these rules around it, and it's like, how am I supposed to do what's right?
So Sophia kind of steps in front of you, gets down on a knee, and puts her hands on your shoulders if you let her. And she's like, Nettle, I've always been a rule breaker. And I want you to always do the right thing.
Even if it's not what the rules say?
Especially when it's not what the rules say. It's honestly why things didn't work out with Sir Gregor. He's too much of a stickler for trying to keep the peace. Sometimes you need to go kick some ass.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
So I say you help your friend Kat chase those revolutionary dreams.
Okay.
Perhaps from the inside's not a bad idea.
Should I wear a disguise?
No. Use your station and power to make a difference. If remember when you told me you had that contract for the Empire? Remember that?
Yeah.
What if you took care of that for them, right? And then you used it to gain their favor, and I kind of helped you out with this problem. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. We start getting little favors from them, and we start getting little victories. political victories that maybe don't require bloodshed. Diplomacy. It's a language that I don't speak very well, and that's why I'm not the Duke of this realm.
I think that's the magic that Miss Rosalind uses is diplomancy.
Yes. She does have a way with words.
She's a really powerful sorcerer.
I noticed. Well, Nettle, I think you are a friend. I consider you a friend that is not a part of your party. So you can count yourself as having one friend outside of the party. And Alfredo also likes you. He gives you extra dumplings.
I know.
So
I
you
wasn't
have
saying
friends.
anything 'cause I didn't know if it was by accident.
You have friends, and your friends, you can spend time with them too. They like you.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
we pan up to the Star Touched finally, for once in their frickin' lives, having a good night and being happy at the end of the day.
You realize that that's usually your fault that we don't. You're the one.
And one more thing.
And one more. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
No, we're good. I think we kind of hit all the notes we wanted to. We got a really good view of who the Star Touched are, especially for the new folks joining us for season 2. So I want to say thank you for joining us tonight. This has been a lot of fun. We're still working on finding a system, but we wanted to keep that SteamSpell content coming for y'all. It's been a while, and we wanted to keep it coming. And we hope we've delivered with some character roleplay, just freeform roleplay.
I missed you all.
It's been good to be back. I was worried about being back, and then I fell naturally back into the spots.
I love the Star Touch so much.
They're such garbage fires.
I love them.
Kat, do you have a crush on anyone?
No, I'm too busy thinking about revolution.
Look, remember in the
I want true love.
I was
She's
talking
married
about
to the fight.
Remember in Discord I was talking about communist orcs before? Communist orcs, please.
Listen, you know that joke about studying the blade?
So we'll go around really quick. We'll just say who we are, where you can find us, and then just a thing or two that we're doing, and we'll try and get out of here for you so y'all can have fun with your Wednesday evening. We're gonna start with Ryan, who plays Gray.
Oh, you're starting with me this time. All right. Hi, everybody.
Yes.
My name is Ryan. You can find me on Twitter at The Simulacre. My main home is right here with these lovely people on Chromatic Chimera, where you might realize that I play Gray on this game. But I also, at the start of every month on Tuesdays, play Kieran, the Furbolg on Elsewhere, run by the wonderful Lucy. Besides that, later this year, in a few months or so, I believe around October, I will be part of a Monster Hearts 2 game starting, where I will be playing a vampire. I'll give more info on that as it draws closer, but I also do a thing called Sims Character Creations, where I make short musical themes, about minute 30 for your podcast, TTRPG character, etc. Those commissions are currently closed while I have some family business, but if you are interested, shoot me a DM and we can talk about something at a later date.
All right, thank you. Sam.
Hey everybody, I am Sam. First of all, thank you so much for the raid, guys. You're coming in right at the end though. But we will be raiding somebody else, so stick around and we'll keep passing the love forward. But hey everyone, I am Sam. You can find me on Twitter at TheSamWisest. I'm SamWise_GameG here on Twitch. I'm a disability advocate and a streamer. I'm also the accessibility director here at the Chromatic Chimera. You can find me right back here on Mondays with No Initiative for our quest campaign, Quest to the Soaring City. I will also be running a one-shot of my first original TTRPG next Friday, the 21st, Robots and Rebels. It's a hack of Honey Heist, so if you're a fan of goofy, cartoony one-page TTRPGs, come check that out. It's going to be a goofy, vaguely Star Wars-inspired time. So that is pretty much all I've got going on. You can pretty much just find me here at the Chimera. So thanks a lot. And if we're gonna keep going, then I think it is Kat, or Lucy, who was
Lucy,
Kat.
who
next.
was Kat? Yes.
Yeah, look, I'm in character still, kind of.
Yes, I play Kat Steele here on SteamSpell. I play Renan Manlielo, the wizard, or mage now. We just switched systems. On Agora's Bells every other Wednesday. I run elsewhere on the first Tuesday of every other month. We didn't have a game this month because we were down some people for personal reasons, but we will be back next month. I'm very excited. I have some things in store. I also run Clockwork Hearts, which Ryan actually did the theme song for, and it is fantastic. We have had a litany of issues getting new episodes up on that, but it is a podcast, and someday there will be a new episode. Someday. It's a lot of fun. It's a steampunk adventure with some very dear friends of mine. And I'm on Twitter at Bluebird Draws. I post a lot of art.
Thank you. Chris, take it away.
Hello, I am Chris. I play Kirkazel here, obviously. I also run Agora's Bells every other Wednesday. Next week, the Wrong Turns are headed in to fight Vanitoth, the Keeper of the Unforgiven, a ancient dragon who hoards mortals' last words. So that should be really interesting. We did just recently switch to Fantasy Age, so if you want to see something a little different than 5e or any of the other popular systems out there, come on by. Love to have you.
Abby.
Sorry, I'm just marveling at the art that has been posted throughout this session in our Discord. So go check out our Discord. We have some really talented people in the community. But besides that, hi, I'm Abby. I'm our creative director. You can find me here, and you can find me also on Wednesdays in Agora's Bells. And yeah, that's me. If you like dice, pictures should be coming within the next 2 years on my Twitter.
Thank you, Megan.
Hello. Soon to be goodbye. I am Megan. My other main project that I was doing, which is Scarlands on Saturday, I want to bring up one because we just wrapped up our first season. It was really good. It was supposed to be 8 episodes, and we had such good chemistry that it wound up being, I think, like 21 or 22. It's a problem. And I wanted to talk about it because our theme song was done by Ryan, and it was also really fucking good. And I just want to reiterate how good he is. And if you need some music done for your stream, you should commission him because he is excellent. Other than that, I'm pretty much just here at Chromatic Chimera. Most of my projects are offline right now, so if you want to hang out with me, the best way to do it is to come back here in 2 weeks, see SteamSpell again, hang out in the chat, shoot the shit with us. We have a fantastic time. My head hurts from laugh crying.
And I am Alex. I was the narrator / MC / game master. I'm still kind of figuring out a title for myself as we're kind of between systems at the moment. I obviously run this game. I help run things at the Chromatic Chimera. Check out our sponsors. Thank you, Roll20, for the spotlight. Tabletop Loot, code SHIELDMOM, 15% off your dice. And at Heartbeat Dice, code CHROMATIC for 10% off your dice. Definitely go check it out. It's good to fulfill all those dice hoard needs. Keep your eyes peeled in the September-October time frame. I've got a Zweihander thing that's gonna get like spooky, and if you like the Renaissance, Italy, and vampires, it'll be right up your alley. Anyway, we're gonna go raid some friends. Thank you for joining us. Having y'all in chat, it makes it so much more fun watching y'all react to the shenanigans we get up to. So we're gonna go. Ooh, I like Steam Lord. I will definitely take that into. All right, fine. Steam Lord, it is. Chat has decided.
Huzzah!
Hello, Dice Priory. We're gonna go raid you. Good night,
Yay!
everybody.
Bye, everyone.